Hello, and welcome to Party Select, where two dudes and a guy who's their friend talk about the best thing there is, video games. My name is Shay. I will be your host for this episode of the podcast. I'm joined, as always, by my brother Kyle. What's up, dude?
I'm down here. Char real smooth.
Oh, yeah. Adorable little microphone accoutrement.
Yeah. My partner crocheted a little Charmander for me. For the audio listeners, I got a little Charmander on my microphone.
It's very cute. We also have our dude and guy, Cody.
I'm both of those things.
What's up, my brother? Not biologically. My dude guy.
I'm doing well.
Hey, wait, hold on. What?
I do feel like if we just told everybody that all three of us were brothers, no one would think twice about that.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so too.
You would fit easily into the castle genealogy.
Yeah, we're all white.
Or vice versa.
With beards and glasses and brown hair.
Brown hair, yeah.
And brown eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I guess that isn't that unique of a thing. It's not, there's nothing about you that looks like us or us that looks like you. We're just all white dudes.
Right. I'll say, though, Kyle and I have gotten people thinking that
true.
we were related before. So
that's true. Yeah.
That has happened.
They say that about Kyle and I also, regularly.
Oh, do they? Huh.
Yeah. Wow. If they don't know us, they think that we're brothers.
I've not heard it.
I don't see it personally, but...
Me neither. Know. His teeth are huge.
One of us had to get the looks, and I think we all know which one it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Welcome, everyone, to Party Select. We're so glad to have you. I feel like audio listeners may be thinking that we stopped doing the podcast because it's been a month since our last flagship episode. I guess it's always a month, but there hasn't been another audio podcast. Right. And that's because y'all got to head to YouTube, man.
Yeah.
YouTube is popping off.
It's at.
You should.
It's this new video streaming platform. Mm-hmm. It's all the rage. Yep. I think there's some guy that uploaded a trip to the zoo on there. It's a great video. There's elephants and stuff in it. Very wholesome content.
It's got the Mr. Beasts. It's got the Beauty Pies.
I'm not familiar with those.
The kids are. Don't worry. The kids are.
Okay.
Are they matching our subscriber count? I'm not sure because we've been growing like crazy.
That's true. We had double-digit percentage growth over the past month.
Yes. That's the marketer in you.
I don't think that they
it's
can.
all about
I'm
how you position.
I'm spinning the statistic as hard as I can.
But yeah, we've been going pretty hard on the YouTube. So we originally intended to do a worst games of 2003 podcast, as we have been doing for every year. But we sat down and looked at the list and we're like, we haven't played like any of these games. What intelligent conversation can we have? There are always games that we haven't played that sneak their way because they're especially bad. But this year it was like nothing that we played. So rather than record a podcast where we haven't played any of the games, we decided to play the games, man. Like, that's the best way to learn about bad games, is to go and play them. So we did a stream on the YouTube channel of Gods and Generals.
Oh, man. The movie
which was a brilliant time.
Yeah, that was
What else did we do? I've already forgotten.
Aquaman. Something's...
Big truck
and
game.
And Big Rigs.
Big Rigs. Over-the-road racing.
Which is widely considered to be one of the worst games ever made. And I would say it holds up.
It almost isn't a game.
It's... You're right. It's almost not a video game.
I would say it almost is a video game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's way better.
But yeah, we did that stream. Kyle did some work and made a fun little short on the YouTube channel of us playing Big Rigs. We've also been dropping the VODs of our previous streams on the YouTube channel to make them more easy to find. All of this to say, if you're an audio listener and you're jonesing for some more Party Select, head on over to YouTube.
Yeah.
It's Party Select. Link in the description of this podcast. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. We'll be streaming more this month. We'll talk about that more later in this episode. But for now, I think we should do a quick question before we dive into our agenda.
Okay.
So I did not prepare you guys for this quick question because I kind of wanted it like off the dome.
All right.
What's your gut reaction? What game is the highest on your gaming pile of shame? Game that you have not played that you know you should. What's the first one that comes to mind?
Ooh.
Kyle.
Yeah, I was going to say Resident Evil Code Veronica, just because, like, I've played so many Resident Evils. It's one of my favorite series ever, and I've never played Code Veronica, and a lot of people really like that one. Ooh.
Do you have plans to remedy that?
I do, yeah. I'm playing through all the Resident Evil games in chronological order, which there's a weird thing with Umbrella Chronicles, because it kind of spans the whole timeline of Resident Evil games. So I'll have to, like, keep going back to Umbrella Chronicles, which is the on-rails Wii shooter. I'll have to keep going back to that to play various chapters in between other games. But I played... I beat... I'm not going to, like, really talk about it. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. If you want to check out my review on Infinite Backlogged, I'm the Drumkid 92 on Infinite Backlogged. I wrote a review for Resident Evil 0, but I beat that recently. And I need to move on to the first one and go from there. So... But yeah, I'm going to play Resident Evil Survivor. I haven't played that. I haven't played Dead Aim, Outbreak, File 1 and 2. I need to play all that. Operation Raccoon City I need to play, which that's technically not canon,
bad
but
Resident Evil games.
Turns out, yeah.
If it doesn't have a number in it, it's mostly bad.
Yeah, except for Revelations. Revelations is very good. That's kind of the outlier.
And maybe Code Veronica. You'll have to find out.
Maybe.
Cody, what about you?
I didn't have one that immediately came to mind. Thankfully, Kyle's answer was long enough. I was able to think of a couple possible answers. Initially, I thought maybe, though it's not one that I feel like I regret not playing, but it's something that I do feel like I should play is Super Mario Galaxy 2. I didn't like the first one very much, so I just never played the follow-up, but I know that game gets a lot of praise. But like I said, that's not really one that I regret or even am like jumping to fix. Now, I do have a game that I would consider fits as an answer to this and is also at the top, pretty close to the top of my backlog, and that is Dragon Quest XI. That is a game that I know I will like. And I've tried to start it multiple times, and I do like it. I've just fallen off because other things have come out. It's a good game because it's in the backlog, to revisit during a dead period, but because it is very long, I usually, the next thing comes out and then I get pulled away from it and I never have time to do it. So that is one that I know I would like that I just have never really sunk the time into. Sure.
Well, yeah. A lot of time required for that.
Right.
Yeah. Especially with how you play games too.
For sure. Yeah.
That's 100-hour experience if you sign up for that.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of all-timer games that I haven't at least tried, but I have many all-timer games that I have given up on very quickly. And I think the one at the top of that pile is Red Dead Redemption 2. Everybody is like, it's one of, if not the greatest video game story of all time.
It is a good story.
I put like 10 hours into it. I tried really hard and just this is how I feel about all Rockstar games. I just get overwhelmed with the systems and how many buttons there are to do all these minute activities. Yeah. But I was really digging the characters in the story. It just, I didn't have the patience for it to continue going. Right. And that's the one I think about a lot. Like, I feel like I need to see that one through at some point in my life. So that would be the one for me.
Hey, Arthur.
Got another job, Arthur.
Got another job, Arthur. Get on your damn horse.
Anyways.
Spot on.
Yeah. That was actually my Charmander impression.
No. Oh. I just know Lenny. I got to see the Lenny getting drunk.
Yeah.
That's like the big moment that I got to experience, which
iconic
is not emotional, but a good moment. Well, yeah, we could do an entire podcast of all the games we haven't played. Or we should live stream them like we did with our bottom games of 2003. Maybe we'll do that at some point in the future. But yeah, I think we should chat about everything we are going to chat about, and then we'll chat about it. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Let's chat about what we're going to chat about, and then we can chat about it.
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We have a ton of games to talk about today.
Yeah.
We've been busy little bees when it comes to playing games. We're going to start things off with our game select from September, which was the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Am I remembering the name of that right? The DLC, which was Indiana Jones and the Order of Giants.
You nailed it,
There's
dude.
no
Nice
way.
job.
No way. How could anyone remember that? It's like the same thing.
No, it's
So we're
the
starting
Indiana
talking about
Jones
that.
and the Circle of Giants is
Yes.
is what
Indiana
happens
Jones
in
and
my head.
the greatest order of giant circles.
The,
Oh, there
the
you go.
Great Order of Giant Circle. It's just the
That
Olympics.
is the XXX rated porn parody.
Oh my.
And then tons of other stuff. Ghost of Yotei, Borderlands 4, Hell Is Us, Baby Steps, Silent Hill F, Dead Take. What else is new? Keep Digging. And then Kingdom
CloverPit.
Hearts. Because we have to wrap up our playlist every month with a Cody Kingdom Hearts update.
And then more Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. And then because we have so many games to talk about, we have some critical hits, but they'll be quickie critical hits. We want to talk about a lot of the recent price hikes for console prices. And then at time of recording, just a couple of days ago, Microsoft announced a price hike for Game Pass and a new tier structure for Game Pass.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that because it's broken and everything is bad. We're on the it's so over pendulum of we're so back and it's so over. We are very far in the it's so over realm.
Yeah.
Let's pivot
I'm
back
worried-
to we're so back at some point.
I'm worried
please.
the pendulum got stuck.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
like on that desk, like the thing, whatever that is, what's that called where it just goes on forever and you don't need to touch
yeah.
it?
I can't remember.
Like with the little balls where they hit each other.
It's like a philosopher's name or something.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Newton's
whatever.
Cradle.
Newton. Not a philosopher,
Thank
a
you.
math guy. It's
Yes.
about physics.
It's
Fucking
that,
nerd
but
either
it's
way.
broken. That's what I was trying to say. It's
Right.
stuck on the one side. But yeah, we want to talk about the pricing stuff. Cody's got an update on Rock Band 4, which is maybe not so fun an update. And then also wanted to kind of recap briefly a lot of like press conferences in the past month. Gamescom, there's a Sony State of Play, Microsoft did a show, there was a Nintendo Direct, just a bunch of like pressers and stuff that are happening in the late summer, early fall. So we wanted to kind of catch up there. Then we'll talk about our Fantasy Critic update. There's a lot of updates. Most of them were not good for me. And then we'll do a quick side quests, which is our email segment, but we actually got a really good YouTube comment on one of our videos, so we want to chat about that. And then we'll do our monthly game releases for October, our game select reveal for October, and then what we're going to be doing, what Party Select's going to be doing in October. So yeah, it's a big jam-packed episode. If you're watching on YouTube, we've got the timestamps, the chapters on the scroll bar. You know, we want to make it easy for you to skip the shit you don't care about, which is probably most of what we talk about.
Good confidence.
But please hit the like button. You don't need to listen, but hit the like button. That helps us. Thank you. Let's start with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Order of Giants.
Sure.
I feel like this DLC got a lot of hate. Like there was a lot of like scores were like 7s,
Yeah.
and I was kind of surprised, honestly.
I'm not, because I
not
feel
either.
like they sold us a little bit of a bill of goods in terms of what, like the scope of it. They were definitely talking it up in terms of the scope and size of the DLC. I mean, it only took me like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
The further I get from
Right.
this, the more angry I am that they charged money for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think $20 is pretty steep. Is that how much it was? Was 20? It couldn't have been more than that, right?
I don't know. I got the whatever PS4 gold edition that came with it, so I don't know.
Oh, right.
I'm looking it up.
But yeah, I'm it's $20.
That's way too much.
Yes, that is too much. And I feel like we always fall into this trap. We always say we don't like to talk about value for the dollar because it's different to everybody, and I feel like we end up doing it anyway. But I do in my opinion, $20 is too much.
That feels
for
pretty objective.
What this was, but I had a totally decent enough time with it.
Well,
And
yeah,
maybe-
because the base game is good, so this
Right.
is more of that.
yeah.
But
And I guess that's why I was surprised by the like harsh disappointment. Because like it didn't blow me away. It doesn't stand up to like the best stuff there is in the base game. But it's more of that, and it's fun. It's a fun, I think the puzzles were really good.
I think the main problem is it's kind of not worth coming back to the game for.
at all.
If you're getting the game now and playing through it, it's like, it's
It's
cool.
essentially just a side
It's
quest.
fun.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
another side quest for you to
And
do.
there are a couple
Right.
nuggets in there that help fill out some of the edges of like some of the mythos for the parts of the main game and stuff. But it's not, none of it's required reading, which is good. It shouldn't be. It's additional content. But by its nature, like the length of it, the scope of it, the level of quote unquote importance to it, it makes it not worth going. And that's kind of how I felt. It's like, man, I opened up this copy because I had played on Game Pass, but then I wanted the game physically, I got it on PS5 for the Gold Edition or whatever because I knew I wasn't gonna want to pay Microsoft for DLC to a game that I didn't own.
That you don't own,
so
yeah.
So I just bought the whole thing so that way I could play on my PS5, whatever, etc. So I had to start from the beginning. So there was like kind of the extra time and effort that I had to spend. So I had to do like a bunch of stuff in Rome until I could get to the DLC and then start that and go and do that. And so it definitely, there was like an hour to an hour and a half of me doing that stuff just to get to the DLC, and that especially didn't feel worth it for me.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a unique situation that I was in.
Yes.
But I think just in general, I don't think it is worth reinstalling this game to play this DLC.
Yeah.
I can see that. I think it kind of like hits on a challenge of DLC generally that I have always had with DLC, which is if it's coming out a year after I finished the game, it's hard for me to give a shit unless it is a sequel, unless it is adding to the end of something or entirely separate. Like I think of The Last of Us Left Behind. It takes place during the game, but it's it's totally separate from anything you're doing in the base game.
But it's very much additive to the overall thing.
Yeah. And
That's
not
true,
necessary,
because
but it adds a lot.
It isn't necessary, but you're right. And like I think of like the best DLCs that I've played, that's certainly one of them. The BioShock Infinite DLC I would also put in that category. Both of those episodes I thought were really distinct and unique. Minerva's Den was another one from BioShock 2.
So good.
And those are all completely separate experiences
Citadel,
from the base
Mass
game.
Effect.
Yeah.
That's an exception, I think, because Citadel is a good example because that is you play it at the end of the story, but all of Mass Effect's DLC in all three games pretty much unilaterally is great, but there are plenty of them
kind
that
of required.
like the Leviathan DLC for Mass Effect 2, like
all
it's
that
or
stuff
3.
Absolutely should have been in the game because it
Yeah.
was important. It was too
Layer of the
important for
DLC.
DLC.
Layer of the Shadowbroker is another good one where it's completely separate from the story that's happening in Mass Effect 2. And maybe that's the balance and challenge of DLC that I think is very hard to hit, is like how do you make it additive but not necessary and still have that feel compelling? And then how do you integrate it into the base game if that's what you want to do?
And obviously, like, these are different kinds of games that we're talking about, so the way in which extra content gets folded back in afterwards or whatever is going to be different. But, like, I also think about the Bethesda DLCs. Like what an awesome reason to come back. Like, all the Fallout DLCs, like the Pit, the Alien one, Far Shore or whatever that's called.
And those are all totally separate.
Yeah, and then, like, and it's fun because, like, you then get new stuff that you get to bring back with you to the base game and mess around with, which gives you an additional reason to spend more time in the base game. Where, like, this DLC does have a couple extra books and stuff, I think, like some skill books and all that.
Yep.
And it
would have been nice if there was some bit of knowledge, though, even that you could have taken to maybe look at the story a little differently, look at the lore, the mythos as you go through the rest of the game a little differently. But I just felt like there was nothing. My takeaway was nothing from that. I truly just felt like we got trailers and we were built up hype over a side mission in the game that could have been any other mission.
Yeah, I think the Giants story and the cult story was not super well told. Like
I agree.
I don't feel like I got like a great grasp of their goals other than like trying to resurrect this. Like at different points, I was like, am I supposed to want the Giant to come back, or is it bad? Is it just the cult that's bad and it's not the Giant's fault? And like, I don't know if the game wanted me to feel gray, because at the end, it's definitely not gray. It's very much like, no, this is a bad guy.
Yes, very much so. And yet, like, I understand the why, right? Like why they are trying to find the Giant and do whatever they're trying to do. But I didn't get a good sense of like, what is this person going to do with the after effect of doing what they're there to do? I didn't get a good sense of like what their after goal was, only what their short-term goal was, like the in-between step. Maybe a little bit of that, like tying that into how it might affect your goals further on in the game towards the end, like how those might intersect in a way. They could have tried to maybe tie it in there to make it feel a little more important. Like, oh, if this dude does this, it's going to get in the way of this other thing that I'm doing, this the main narrative stuff. Maybe they could have done something like that. Or they could have just like, I don't know. I feel like even if the DLC was like, oh, it's 3 of these and it's a package of one for each of these these areas we've made, one for Rome, one for Cairo, is it Cairo? And then one for is it Vietnam?
I don't remember, man.
That sounds right. That sounds right-ish. But like one for each of those big 3 areas, they could have done like a new adventure there that was about this scope, and they could have sold that for $30, and I would have been like, that's a big chunk of money, but also it's a reason then to go to each of these 3 areas and thread it into my adventure through the game. And I think that might have felt a little more substantial, a little more worthwhile.
I'm with you
by
on
itself,
that.
I didn't feel that.
I do think I said this, but it's worth saying again. I thought the puzzles were fantastic. Like the map puzzle where you have the scepter and you're having to like solve the riddles. And then the one with
the water puzzle is fun.
The water puzzle is good, and I think that they build on that well with like the molten ball puzzle that's similar in how it's structured. Yeah, like I was very happy with the puzzles. I did not like
the dial and pillar puzzle because I spent a lot of time trying to solve it the wrong way. And
I remember this.
I spent a long time overcomplicating it for myself.
I don't remember this one.
It's the one right at the end. It's at the big dial on the wall, and then the pillars you're spinning.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I overcomplicated it also.
Yep.
Hey, maybe that is a problem.
Yeah.
But to your point though, all the other earlier puzzles were very good. I enjoyed those.
Yeah.
And that was definitely the highlight. I did want to ask, because I didn't know if like I did something wrong or if it was a bug. Because you're mostly navigating to these different areas via like the sewer system. Did you guys have a boat in the sewer system?
Nope, I was just swimming and it took forever.
Okay, that sucked. And I was like, I have to have done something wrong. Like, you drive a boat in there, you park it, and then you go do your business, and then you're back out. And I was like, was I supposed to go back and get the boat? Did it bug out? And for some reason, I don't have a boat? Because there's no way they intended you to swim super slowly through the sewers the entire time. That was terrible.
Not. Because I think we did open. I feel like I opened a gate at one point. Maybe the boat was over there, and I just didn't.
Well, because there's like that when you first have the boat and you go and you park it and you go through your thing, and then you come out on the other side.
You open a gate. I thought at that point.
Yeah. So I wonder if I wonder if you can get the boat and
Maybe.
But in the base game, there's that system where if the boat isn't there, you can call it up and have it. And there's nothing
this
in
doesn't have
there.
that.
True, that's true.
Yeah, so maybe not. Maybe they intended you to swim, and that's terrible.
Yeah,
that
that's
sucked.
good.
Yeah, that sucks. That could just be padding. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It certainly
that's
was.
true.
I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I don't know. The sewer stuff that wasn't a whole lot of fun. No one likes the sewer level in a game. But yeah, all the early puzzles were super good. And I thought that like the combat, the fight at the end, the penultimate fight, it was pretty intense. I like
Very
that.
intense.
Yeah.
Not difficult, but
No.
I was
They
doing my
struck
little
that
yelpy
balance.
yelpy girl scream as he's running behind me, and
Right.
it was definitely. And like you think you figure it out, you throw the thing, and then he dodges it, and you're like, oh shit, I got to
like,
figure
"Ah,
something
fuck."
else out now.
Right.
Yeah, it had a good build to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
And
like
a good fun moment at the end as well.
yes, yep, a lot of good Indiana Jonesy stuff. The talking parrot is very fun.
Oh,
The
right. Yeah.
the heel turn, which is super expected, but like handled well. Even the cult stuff at the end when he comes in and they're all chanting, like there's a lot of good Indiana Jones vibes moments. And I guess like all of that is why I was like surprised so many people were so down on this, because I still had a lot of fun with it. But everything you're saying, I agree with both of you. I think it's overpriced for what it is. It's not critical. It's not a great reason to come back to this game that you haven't touched in a year. And it certainly isn't something that like you want to replay the whole thing so that you can do this during the story.
Right.
So it does feel a little like
also it
needless.
could be a victim of a little bit of not over promising, under delivering, but like I was very excited for this. Like very, like the trailers really got me. Like
Yeah.
I loved the game. I was like, oh fuck, there's more of this. That's awesome.
I expected like a new, and maybe this is on me, but also I feel like the marketing kind of pushed you in this direction. It felt like I thought it was going to be a new mini bookended Indiana Jones adventure.
Yeah.
That you could go on. Like there would be like a fun, map flying sequence or whatever, where you see the dotted line going and all this other stuff. And maybe that actually may have happened a little bit, but like I thought it was gonna be a little bit more involved.
I was very excited going into it, and I just feel like I knew that the game was already good, so like that didn't give it any points. So I just felt underwhelmed.
that's a
playing
bummer.
it. Yeah.
Maybe I like tuned out a lot of the marketing because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play more. Great.
Yeah.
I loved this game. I'll play more of it because I wasn't like hyped for it. I was just expecting to have a good time. So yeah, maybe it's the expectations just being different obviously makes the disappointment heavier.
Also, for what it's worth, I only played that for the first time earlier this year, so I waited till the PlayStation release came out. So
yeah,
Right.
it's more recent in your mind.
it's a little more recent. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I do think a 7 out of 10 is a fair score. It was more like the tone around it was so negative that I played it and I was like, I had a pretty good time. But I think everything you guys are saying, I agree with still. So I get it. Yeah. So if you haven't played Indiana Jones and The Great Circle, the base game, you should do that.
Yeah.
If you have played it and you're considering the Order of Giants, which is the DLC, maybe okay to skip.
Yeah.
Wait for a sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly not a reason to go replay the whole game in and of itself. I have been playing some Ghosts of Yotei. This game just came out yesterday at the time of recording, so I've played for like 4 hours today. I wish that I could have played more, but I just couldn't. So I'll be able to talk a lot more about it next month. And Kyle, I know you're planning on playing it too.
Yeah.
In the first
early
4
impressions?
hours, I feel like I have a good sense of the game now. I have done many of the type of side activities. I have beaten one of the bosses that you're going after. I have taken over one of their bases. I've done a few brief side quests. So I feel like I've sampled all the things that this game has. I unlocked a new weapon style. So the new weapons replace the stances from Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
So you have your
this
base
is the thing
katana.
that kind of sold me on it when I watched the quick look.
So I guess to describe, in Ghost of Tsushima, you had your 4 different stances that were intended to use against different enemy types. So like a specific stance is best against a spear enemy or a brute heavy enemy, and they have different sort of special abilities and attacks and stuff that go along with each stance. Rather than that, they have different weapon types. So you have your base katana, you have a dual katana setup, you have a spear setup, you have I don't remember what it's called. I want to call it a Tamagotchi, which is not the correct thing, but it's that like sickle and chain kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And then you also have your bow and all your tools and all that stuff too. So I unlocked the dual katana. It's a fun story and character and like little moment to earn that, and a lot of stuff that you have to do to get it, which felt like I earned the ability to be able to use that weapon, which was very cool.
Okay.
I don't want to undersell this to you, Kyle, but I want to make sure it's not oversold to you also. So far, I do not see how this drastically changes from the stances. Like, the dual katanas are best against spear guys.
It changes.
I can still beat spear
here.
guys.
It changes up here.
Because
I
instead
feel
of
like,
just
to me,
sword here to sword here, it's
right,
sword or two swords.
Yeah, significant difference in like the attack patterns and stuff like that. In my head, that visual change of the weapon, I think, will make that connection. Because also, like, I just think certain weapons are way cooler, and so like I will want to use other weapons. Whereas like I don't really care what the stance is. I don't know that any stance is cooler than another stance, but there are certainly like weapons that I think are cooler that I'll want to use more. So
I mean, I'm all about the dual katana. Like, that's my jam. If I was a Jedi, I would 100% be using lightsaber Shoto combo. Like, that was every Star Wars RPG or game where I play as a Jedi. I am always using dual lightsabers.
God,
that's
so
the shit.
Fucking cool, bro.
God. It's the coolest weapon style. So yes, of course I'm cool. Is it cool because I am cool, or am I cool because that style is cool? Kind of chicken or the egg.
Like, thank God you're the one who got the good looks.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it would have been wasted on me because you're so much cooler than I am.
You know? It is what it is. I don't know why you're trying to drag me. All I'm saying is I like the dual katana, so that it's cool. I just like it, okay?
I do.
But yes, as soon as I unlocked it, and there are slightly different attacks. I imagine I will unlock more as I go. Special attacks and stuff. I don't have a ton of that yet. But yeah, it feels more different than the stances do. But
yeah,
I can still totally beat a spear guy with a single katana. So sure. I don't want you to be disappointed. I'm trying to like, because I know you're giving this game a chance because you weren't as into Ghost of Tsushima. So I don't want you to be immediately turned off by that component.
I guess I do want to clarify. I did like Ghost of Tsushima for like the first 12 hours that I played it. And then it was like, I didn't feel incentivized to play any differently over that longer course of the game. And I think slowly unlocking new weapons will give me enough of like a compulsion to like, okay, let me play with this weapon now for a while and try that out.
And
like unlock
it seems
some skills
like
for that weapon. They're
going to dole the weapons out. They're very tied to the Yotei 6 that you're trying to take down. So like the biggest differentiation in structure between this and Ghost of Tsushima is, one, you're chasing down the Yotei 6, but the way that they sort of formulate that is similar to AC Shadows,
yeah,
where like you're gathering clues to like learn about the different enemies, and I think you have to take them in a specific order. I don't think you can choose like, I want to go after these guys first or this one first. I think it's like their narrative structure, but you you can defeat a bunch of bandits and you keep one alive to like ask him a question about this specific guy, or you rescue somebody and they give you information about the location of where this dude might be.
Okay.
And that I think is like really cool. It feels more not like straight up detective mode, but it's more integrated into the world than just, not that this game was bad about having quest markers, because I think it was smart about how it handled that, but like it doesn't feel like I just need to go to this spot. I need to figure out where the spot might be and ask people there and then go from there. And that I think is cool. Pretty much everything else feels like Ghost of Tsushima. And to me, like, it's been 5 years since that game came out. That's A-okay. I think the combat rules, the world rules, the world is gorgeous still. It feels very different than Ghost of Tsushima, at least early on, which is nice. Because
this
it's a lot
is
flatter.
This is Hokkaido, Japan.
It's in Ezo, which I don't know if that's just old terminology.
Okay,
but Ezo,
yeah,
Ezo is
it's like a
the name
northern
of the region.
Yeah, it's a northern region where the Aino lived, and so I think part of like the conflict is it's very similar to like early American history of basically people coming in and forcing out the indigenous population. That's what the Japanese were doing with the Aino population, that were sort of like, I don't know, I don't want to say something incorrect, but in my brain, the kind of like Eskimo adjacent, the Aino were. And so, yeah, they're kind of like forcing them out. And that's sort of the background tension, the setting of what's going on in this one.
And that's definitely integrated into the story. I'm already like getting bits and pieces of that. There's sort of a push and pull between a clearly bad guy and a guy who maybe is less bad, but also is an invader and has his own agenda. And so it's sort of a gray area kind of thing. Obviously, I'm not very far, so I can't speak in detail. I will say, like, I really like Atsu, who is the protagonist. She is far more brutal than Jin, at least in the early going in Ghost of Tsushima. She ain't got no qualms about being bad and doing bad shit to bad people, which is I really like. It's refreshing. But yeah, I think it's the exploration and the sort of wind guided mode. There's a cool system where you buy maps, but the map is just like a square that you have to match up to your map to like unlock a new.
That's kind of neat.
And cool. I think it's not like difficult to do that, but again, it just feels more immersive than marking a spot on your map, you know? And I that's like most of the innovation that I have seen is systems that make things feel a little bit more immersive. There's a telescope that you have that you can go up somewhere high, pull it up, mark spots on your map, a la Tears of the Kingdom. Like I said, I'm super early still, but I'm very, very much into it. Kyle, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on like the opening hours, especially narratively and like structurally. It felt a little choppy to me, like felt a little rushed in a way. So I'm curious to kind of get your feedback on how you thought that flowed. But yeah, we'll be able to talk way more next month.
Yeah, and I do want to correct myself. It's I knew with a U on the end, not I know. I looked that up. I want to correct myself there, just in case.
Well, I heard them saying it dozens of times just a few hours ago, and I didn't remember the pronunciation. So yeah, I think you're okay. You're doing
then
your
we
best.
both need to do better.
I know like this takes place like hundreds of years after Tsushima, right?
Yeah.
So is there any connection there? I mean, like obviously ghost mantle.
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
There might be something, but
is there black powder? Like are there guns and stuff?
Yep.
Were there guns in Tsushima?
Nope.
Was there black powder? Were there cannons?
I don't think so.
I feel like I remember cannons.
There were cannons.
But not like
not guns.
Not handheld weaponry. Okay. But there is some black powder stuff going on.
Yeah. There's also a really interesting component, without spoiling anything. They are leaning more into the supernatural aspects of that culture, because like Ghost of Tsushima, they had their sort of legendary quests,
right?
That a lot of them were supernatural in nature, where you would get a new sword or armor or whatever it is. It feels more integrated into the story in Ghost of Yotei, which is I'm really interested to see where that goes and how much of it they treat as reality and how much they treat it as the mythology of the ghost, if that makes sense. I want to finish this podcast so I can go play more Ghosts of Yotei, which is exactly how I hoped I would feel. So I'm happy so far.
Well, good.
Yeah. Let's talk about Hell Is Us, Kyle.
Okay.
Tell me, this game seems like a total combination of a Souls-like and Death Stranding and like a Remnant game. Like it feels like a weird combination of those types of things.
Yeah. So I think it's when you boot up the game, it says, hey, we're not going to hold your hand. You just need to like look around, use your head, talk to people. We're going to help you track this information, but you're going to have to do some deducing. And it basically comes out of the gate and tells you that when you start the game, which is a good frame of mind to go into it with, knowing that you're not going to have your hand held. And I think that definitely bears itself out to be true. The game doesn't have any like objective markers or anything. You know, you have to be paying attention, but the game does do a good job of tracking all the things you're picking up, the notes you're reading, whatever, that are leading you to the various places. And they have different, like, they have basically like idea boards for some of the major objective things that are tracking and updating as you go along. And you can, you know, it gives you a little marker for when there's something new in there to read, so you can go check it out. So there's a little bit of assistance from the game in that respect, but it really is down to you to figure out, like, to put the pieces together, especially when it comes to some of the environmental puzzles and stuff, which there are a lot of. That's like kind of most of the game. All of that, like, it's a very dire, dark world. It's really, there's some heady concepts that the game alludes to. It doesn't like go out of its way to show anything problematic, but there's like, you know, like content warning stuff for sexual assault, for, you know, murder, mistreatment of children, stuff like that. In addition to, like, you know, PTSD and war and how that affects people, religious persecution, several different kinds of persecution, let's say. It doesn't shy away from any of that stuff. It's very much the bones of the world in which you are exploring and have come up in your character. It's not a character that you created. You're playing a named person with a history and a reason for being there. A lot of which would be spoilers, so I won't mention it. But I found all that stuff to be really, really compelling. They did a very nice job building the world, setting up things that are alien to me and enticing me to figure out more about them. All of that stuff was firing on all cylinders for me. It super worked. I had a really good time figuring out, you know, like exploring every area and, you know, coming across stuff and trying to remember where things were. Like, oh, I got a key with this shape on it. I'm pretty sure this shape was present on a chest back in this area, so let me go check that out. I will say where it falls apart a little bit for me from that side of the story and the exploration side is it does the Dark Souls thing of, you could be progressing or missing quests that you don't really realize because of the obfuscated, that obfuscated is not the right word, because of the, like, difficult to parse nature of the world and how you traverse it. It's not always clear how the mechanics of the game are going to impact quest lines and things. And so I ended up missing out. I finished all the side quests except for 3, I think. I failed 3 of them, and they were for reasons where it's like, I was really excited because I felt like I had solved the problem the game had put in front of me. It just turned out that, like, oh, I did something in between, and now that solution is no longer valid, and so I'm just gonna kind of miss
maybe the
out.
turn-in person is now gone, or you know, whatever that might be.
Yeah. Or like I turned in another quest before turning in this quest, and that means that this person's ride out of this area is gone, and so they're just kind of stuck, and I can't do anything to help them. It's like,
and it's not clear about that.
I didn't find it to be like, there are had I been thinking more critically about it, because it was like, so it happens multiple times where you go into areas and there are people that you need to help. And one of the people that you need to help is trying to like get everybody together and get out of there. So like I did all the stuff necessary to help that person just by virtue of how I explored the areas and when I came upon solutions to things and key items. And then I completed that quest because I have this video game mentality of like, well, I have all the stuff, I gotta go finish this thing. But I wasn't thinking hard enough about, oh, the resolution of this quest is going to be they're going to leave. So
got it.
The game doesn't go out of its way to remind you that, hey, these people are going to be left behind. And so that was disappointing because I felt like I did the hard part of finding the things that I needed and grasping the solution. It just like the mechanics of when that stuff came together. It didn't feel like that was presented to me in a way that gave me the ability to have success without thinking on a level that I wasn't thinking on. So a little bit of frustration there.
What and are you getting rewards from the quests, or is it mostly just like narrative?
Yeah, so you partway through the game you come across an individual who wants you to be helping more people, and the more people you help, aka side quests you finish, you can return to that person to get upgrades and stuff. Okay. And that all feeds back into the combat system, which I will now talk about because it's not very good. And it is the thing you end up doing the most in the game is combat. And it is fine. It's a perfectly competent Souls-ish, animation, priority heavy, dodging with iframes, stamina management, lock on, strafe around behind kind of combat. It is that. There are only like 4 or 5 enemy types, and you're just kind of encountering occasionally stronger versions of those enemy types. And they have all these systems, like all these kinds of weapons you can get. Defeating enemies gets you materials you can use to upgrade your weapons. You're getting these things you can slot into your weapons that are basically like materia from Final Fantasy that change some of their attributes or give them additional things, give them additional features or effects. You have like a couple like defensive items you can have, like passive artifacts you can get. And you're getting a lot of those through exploring and also through completing quests and stuff. And so there's complexity to the systems. There are builds you can craft based upon play styles that you're looking for. Things it would have mattered more had I been playing on a higher difficulty, but because the combat wasn't very fun, I just lowered the difficulty, so none of those systems really mattered that much. And for me, the reward was figuring out more about the world, and so that's kind of how I played it. And so I avoided combat wherever possible, just because there is so much of it. And they finally introduced a new enemy type in the last room of the video game. And I was like, wow. You suck. It's like I fought 4 of these things and now that's it. That could have been huge if I were to encounter that somewhere else.
How long did it take? Like, how long did you play it?
That's a good question. I don't remember at this point.
Because just 4 enemy types sounds bad.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably
That's
like
not
20.
A lot.
It was probably like, well, no. It was probably like, it's probably like 20 hours.
That's crazy.
I think it's 5
But I will
types.
say, I watched a good bit of Kyle playing this.
Yeah, at the beginning.
The exploration, like the combat, like you can largely just kind of ignore the combat, really. The game
you
is...
can run past some enemies and stuff, too.
The exploration and figuring this... And that stuff
the map design,
really,
really map design is very, very good. I would say on par with FromSoft's level design. I think it's really the way it wraps around itself, the way how it gives you landmarks, and it's just packed to the gills with things to explore and discover, and it does like the witness thing where you discover things later on that recontextualize things you've been looking at but not registering in previous areas. So going back and looking at that stuff, I think a lot of it's not like a Metroidvania because you're not like unlocking new abilities that let you get places. In some cases, it is more about the obtaining of knowledge, recontextualizing places you've been. So I had a really good time. I think also, unfortunately, like, because the combat didn't hit, because I had a little bit of frustration with some of the questing stuff, the mechanics of the timing of how all that stuff happened. And unfortunately, the end of the game is really unsatisfying. There is no last, because their game isn't really big on boss fights. There are a couple of things you could call boss fights, but again, there are only a couple enemy types, so it's really just like, hey, a really powerful version of this enemy, or like some of the parameters around the combat are changing and affecting things you have to do, and there's more like puzzle situations within combat are what the boss encounters are like. And so the last thing is just like, hey, I killed those big 4 new enemy types, and now I go and do a thing, and then it's kind of last cutscene. And it felt a little anticlimactic from a gameplay perspective. It was definitely climactic from a narrative perspective. But there wasn't like an awesome resolution. I guess I shouldn't say it was climactic from a narrative. It was bombastic. Like, there was a big ending thing that happened, and then a sequence that leads me to believe there's going to be DLC. Because it kind of sets up a new status quo, kind of. So either a sequel or DLC. There's also like an after credits scene that makes me think DLC. But yeah, so it was weird. It didn't feel like there was an awesome. Okay, so there is a big bad guy, because it's doing the frame story of, hey, you're in this interrogation room with this guy, and you're telling bits of your story, and you're going back and playing those bits of the story. So there's a loose frame story set up for how the narrative is, the main narrative is told, the present day narrative. I think that bad guy in the room with you, interrogating you, he's menacing in those scenes, but when you're not there, he's just nothing. And most of the game isn't there. Like, that only happens across a series of like 6 or 7 cutscenes throughout the whole game. And they're short. And so I didn't feel a big connection to him as an enemy, as an adversary. And so when the conclusion happens with him, I didn't feel much about that. There's other stuff to feel in that moment. There are other narrative things that happen there that I did like, but the big bad didn't feel like much of a big bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So it fell flat a little bit there for me as well. So
it's like they needed to do more of like the Far Cry thing, where they're finding ways to bring him into the story outside of cutscenes.
Yes, he needed to be threaded in more, I think.
Yeah.
And like there are limitations there just because of the kind of game it is. Like, the NPCs don't move, right? Like, they are in their place until you leave, and then when you come back, they will have done whatever. If they need to be somewhere else for a story reason, they will be there, but the NPCs don't walk around or move, right? They're static. There are a lot of, like, you can tell it's a budget game in some respects, but it's very pretty. I thought the musical score was pretty good. I think the aesthetic design of the world and how, because it's basically an alternate timeline, and how that feels familiar but alien at the same time, I think they really hit the nail on the head with that. But yeah, so I mean, like, if you're really into exploration, if you like games that don't hold your hand, I think this will have a lot of rewarding moments. But just know there's a lot to be desired with the combat, and some of the main narrative stuff, like branches of the main narrative, might not have the most affecting resolutions. But yeah, I certainly don't regret playing it. I did really like it, but I obviously have the reservations that I just talked about. So, but a little bit of mixed feelings on it, but overall, enjoyed my time with it.
I mean, the fact that you finished it says a lot too.
Yeah.
That, like, with devoting that number of hours to a game where there are clear flaws, there's still something about it, you know?
Yeah. Because what is the how long to beat Hell is Us? Yeah, about 20 hours to the main story. That's probably what I came in around.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
And for doing most of the side quests. So
that's true. Yeah, I did every side quest. I just didn't always get the good ending to the side quest.
Right. Well, another game that's big on exploration in its way is Borderlands 4, which is a game I did not intend to play because I was like, about it. Like, it was like in a couple of years, I'm sure I'll get it. But then there was a weekend where my wife was out of town. It was just me and the kids. And then the in-laws said they could take the kids for one of the days. And I didn't have a game to play. So I did a last minute trip to Target, man, and bought fucking Borderlands 4. And here we are.
Come Deliverance 2 crying in the corner.
Yeah. Well, it's I wanted a mindless game. I should give more context. It wasn't any game. I wanted a turn off my brain and vibe out game. And Borderlands 4 hits that. I'll say, I think we were talking about it on Discord after the first day or so that I've been playing it, and I was very anti Borderlands 4. It was not, it was lacking any of the personality of the previous games. Say what you will about that personality. It had its own distinct personality.
It made you feel something.
Yeah, and they had plenty of funny moments, especially Borderlands 2, which to me was the pinnacle of the series.
Yes.
This game felt super watered down and much more straightforward and self-serious in a way that the writing was not holding up. And then everything else is just fucking more Borderlands. And I was not into it at all and really regretting my purchase. I've spent a lot more time with it. I've put in probably a dozen hours. And I'm having a totally decent time. There have been a number of quests that I think were fun and funny. Some of the bosses have been fun to fight. I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting some good, unique guns. I had a sniper rifle that was iron sight, bolt action that felt really fucking good to nail. I'm almost quick scoping headshots. It felt really fucking good to use.
Okay.
A number of the I think it's Tedior is the brand that you can swap between the elemental types, and just playing around with the synergies there is really fun. I'm playing Vex, who is sort of a combo archetype. She is both the Siren, so she's got the magic, and she's the Beastmaster, so she's got the companion character, which I feel like playing solo, I need something else to draw aggro. Yeah. But it's it's nice having that. I think I might play around because you pick which skill in your tree you want. And there's another version of this character that summons clones of herself that are either melee or gun oriented. And I might swap to that and play around with that because the beast character, it feels a little boring. You can target it at certain enemies and turn it into a big version of that of the thing. It does a little more damage for a certain amount of time, but it's very passive, right? And so I'm just shooting guys.
Yeah.
And so I want something else that feels a little
Are all the characters
new.
the same archetypes?
No.
Okay.
No.
So new.
There's still the four. There's still the four classes. I mean, they're similar, right? There's the soldier techie guy who has a big shield, and then there's some kind of scientist chick who does gravity bombs, and then I don't remember what the fourth one was. Oh, it's a mechanic guy that I think, I don't know if it's a male or female character, but it's got a turret on their back that shoots stuff. So it's all of the archetypes are similar to previous ones, where they've kind of combined some abilities to make hybrid sort of classes. It's it's nothing new. It's just more of Borderlands. I don't think the writing is better. The glide is nice because there's a lot of open area, just like there always is.
Okay.
The vertical movement is dog shit. There is a lot of verticality in the environment, which I don't remember there being as much vertical environmental stuff. There's a lot of mountains and hills and cliff sides that it does not feel good to try to double jump on and climb up. There's a lot of it's just out of reach for me to be able to get up there. There are also a lot of invisible walls, where like you can find a high point and glide to another high point to try to not have to go around this big mountain, and you just run into an invisible wall on top of a plane. A lot of that shit feels really bad. There is a cool system where like you are unlocking little bases throughout the environment that you can fast travel to. They've got the shops, etc. And in certain ones, you can unlock this like tether system that sort of like skyrockets to the sky, that when you use it, it launches you up and you can glide for a really long period of time.
Yeah.
And that is nice because like I've been fast traveling, but fast traveling sucks in games. Like, make your movement fun. I hate fast traveling. And that's like a good middle ground where if I'm near one of those, I'll do that instead. Because it feels cool to like glide and see the big environment.
Sure. You might see something you missed or whatever too.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, it's the opposite of Ghosts of Yotei, where you're detective mode. This is like map icon over, you know, whatever, like stimulation, just map icons everywhere for all these different zones and side quests and exclamation marks and question marks. But the lizard brain part, like, it feels nice to unfog that shit too in a mindless way. So
are there still vehicles?
It's not, I think there are a few. I have a like motorcycle style that sucks. It is not satisfyingly fast. It does very little damage. It gets blown up super easily. The nice quality of life thing is you can summon it whenever you want. You don't have to like go to a station, and you just press right on the D-pad and it summons it. Yeah, no catch a ride.
Okay.
But yeah, I do use that when I have to get someplace faster and I don't want to engage, but you like cannot fight enemies on it. It does so little damage. I'm shooting fucking rockets and it does nothing. It makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about Borderlands 4. I'm totally having fun. I've been warming up to it more the more I've played it. I'm not like super invested in the story, but I think I've done like 2 big story beats and gone to like the 3rd area now. And it's fine. That's not what I'm here for.
Right.
And
This
what I
sounds
am
This sounds exactly what I was expecting out of Borderlands.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's such because like Borderlands 2, you're met immediately with Handsome Jack, and like you immediately want to shoot that guy in the fucking face. And like that's your driving force in the entire game is, I want to fucking end this dude. He sucks.
The main bad guy is the timekeeper, but there's another, like his lieutenant is the main bad guy I'm going up against now. Okay. No fucking idea what that guy's name is.
Cool.
You could give me 100 guesses and I wouldn't get it. My mind goes to like Imogen Joe or whatever, which is the Mad Max villain. Like, I've no fucking clue. The story is very self-serious and not that interesting. But there have been a number of funny side quests. So I'll they've not found the right balance, but it's better than Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 was way over the top.
Oh man, it was so much. It was like you couldn't take a step in that game without a fucking fart noise.
Yeah. Like they overcorrected, but this is better than Borderlands 3 in that way, but it's also less interesting or maybe less engaging because of that.
Have you seen a gun or heard a joke that's in reference to like a Haktua yet?
I have not. I remember the writer said he wasn't going to do that. So at least so far, he's kept true to his word.
Nice.
There was one random like recent pop culture reference. It wasn't bad. It was like totally fine. But it was that moment where I was like, I thought you guys were going to not do that. And it's only one. So I'll give them, you know, a pass. Okay. But it was like if I come back and play this in 10 years, I'm not going to even remember what this joke is, like that kind of shit. But it was only one.
Okay.
The fact that it stood out is maybe a positive. That I remembered that it was only one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's totally fine. It's Borderlands to a T.
Right.
But whatever, dude. If you got $80 to waste.
Well, the problem is there are so many games to play right now. Who the fuck is going to play Borderlands?
Yeah, I will continue to play because there will be...
Well, you already have it.
An evening... But I just mean like... because I've got Ghost of Yotei now. Like, that's my number one. I'm going to be playing that all the time. I will still play Borderlands because there will be times that, like, I don't want to have to think. I just want to blow shit up.
Sure.
And it's still that. And that still is fun. There's your back of the box quote. It's still that, and that is still fun.
Thanks.
Let's talk about a game. I don't know if it's fun or not to actually play. Baby Steps, the new Bennett Foddy joint, maker of QWOP.
Oh, I didn't realize you played this, Kyle.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. So Baby Steps, yes, new Bennett Foddy game. There was a demo that came out a little while ago. Folks have played kind of the early hours of it already, but it recently just fully released. I feel like Bennett Foddy has really... This definitely feels like the magnum opus. Bennett Foddy's magnum opus. It feels like the purest distillation... That's not true. Not the purest distillation. It's the opposite of that. It feels like the most robust and expansive version of the kinds of experiences he has tried to create before. So for those who don't know, I think most people know, but Baby Steps is a game where you play as a ginger man-child with glasses who lives in his parents' basement and watches One Piece.
A fail son, I believe they describe him as.
He gets sucked into some sort of virtual world or something, as his parents are wanting to have a come-to-Jesus moment with him about his life. And he gets dragged into what appears to be bizarro Australia for some reason. And you are controlling him, and the way in which you control him is to control his feet. You control his legs, you raise a leg, and you move the left stick forward. So you hold L2, or left trigger, to raise the left leg. You push the left stick forward, and it moves that left leg forward. You let go of the trigger, and it places the foot. You can do right trigger for right leg, and you're kind of alternating, pushing the left stick forward. Where the camera's facing also kind of matters, because that kind of helps orientate him and twist his upper body and get his direction going as well. There is surprising depth and control available to you if you are patient enough. And I have found that I am patient enough to achieve great level of foot control.
So you're a foot guy.
I am a foot guy.
Big into feet.
I'm now into feet.
Title of the podcast.
Yes.
Kyle is super into feet.
I wasn't gonna get this game because, and Cody knows, and Shay knows, I get mad at video games. It's why I don't play multiplayer games anymore. I get angry. Competitive multiplayer games. I get very angry, and so I just avoid experiences that make me angry. I watched a lot of Giant Bomb play a lot of this game, and had a realization that I was in the mood to test myself and see if I still have that in me. If I still have that, like, that rage, that dog in me. And it turns out for Sonic games I do, but not for Baby Steps. I have found that when I fail and when I fall in Baby Steps, I'm learning. And I'm usually able to, like, second or third try most things in that game because I'm learning a lot about the paths. Now, will I beat the game? I don't know about that. But I made it like a third of the way through in like an hour and a half, which I feel really good about.
Is it like a getting to work sort of where you're just hitting sort of
you are trying to climb, but it's so you are checkpointing. Your goal is always like go to the next campfire. You can usually see the glow off in the distance. There are a lot of, like, in this game, it's full 3D, so it's not like a 2D getting over it or whatever. There are a lot of side things that you can do. I'm not doing any of that shit. My goal, I want to get to the fucking top. I want to beat this game. But there's a lot of like side challenges you could do that'll get you like little hats or funny little things. And the game is like a huge commentary on, the character situation of being directionless and, social anxieties and depression and not knowing your own worth and etc. But also like, picking your battles. The game, there's an infamous spot in the game where, Nate, your player character, arrives at like a cliff, and Bennett Foddy, who plays basically all the other voiced characters in the game, one of his characters comes up and says, hey, I put this staircase in for you. You could take this other path. It's a lot harder. Or you could just take this spiral staircase all the way to the top. And you should do that. You should just take the spiral staircase. Because this one, we call that path the man breaker. So we don't want it to break any more people, so I just put this staircase and you can take that. It's like the game's obviously offering you a choice of, you can just take the spiral staircase, take the easy way, get on with it. Or you can take the man breaker, which is like an intensely hard challenging path to go up that'll really test your ability and test your mastery over the physics system and the mechanics of the game and the different terrain types that you're encountering.
True gamers take the man breaker path.
But the game is the game's playing on that almost like self-flagellation that gamers have about, so it's sort of a meta commentary about how people engage with his games. And it feels like he put I think he put the spiral staircase in there. He makes the characters like seriously say, hey, you should just take the staircase. And it feels like a commentary on like, when someone offers you help, it's okay to take the help. You can do the hard thing and like feel pride or whatever, but also this is a fucking video game, dude. Like, just
so it doesn't
take
actually
the help.
punish you for taking the stairs.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And when you get to the, I guess I don't want to spoil what happens when you get to the top. I watched Jeff Grubb complete the man breaker. I think like today he did it. And I got to see the scene that happens at the top. That it just further reinforces like the fact that I think the game is telling you should take help when people offer you help. But yeah, it's a lot of things that you can take away from the game. I think that there are commentaries on not only, broader life, but also how people engage with his games. I think all that stuff's really smart. I think the writing is abysmal on purpose. It's pretty intolerable. Like the cutscenes are absolutely dog shit intolerable. But that is also on purpose. That
In
doesn't
what
mean
way?
I want. So I believe the way this happened is I think there's only 2 voice actors, well, aside from like your mom and dad who occasionally yell something in the in-between scenes when it flashes back to the house or whatever. But it's like Nate's voice actor, and then I think Bennett Foddy does like every other voice. But I think I heard this, I don't know if this is true, I haven't checked it, but what I heard is they had like a loose framework for every scene, and then they just kind of ad-libbed at each other and played these characters and tried to be bizarre or whatever. And it's really hard to listen to, like really cringy, hard to listen to random humor bullshit stuff.
Is that a taste thing, or do you think like it's supposed to be
I've seen
annoying?
people laugh.
Okay.
And so maybe it's just a taste thing, not my sense.
Because like if it was supposed to be annoying on purpose, that would be confusing for a game like this that is intended to be infinitely playable.
So here's the thing, where I think it is intentional. Is intentionally annoying. You can hold A to skip cutscenes. Every cutscene, you have to do that hold A. Like, so you hold A and the thing goes around, and then you release A at the right time, and it skips it. That becomes every single time, it's a different kind of minigame that fucks with you. So then, like, you're stuck in this fucking annoying cutscene with these characters going on and on. You're like, I just want to fucking skip. No, shit, the thing moved over there. Oh, no. Okay, now I need to, like, feather it this time. Like, and so every cutscene is, like, a new, fresh hell of, how do I skip this? And
that is very fun. That is an awesome idea.
It's fucked up. And I love it. I was I was mad. Like, it made me mad once, and then I was like, you got me, man. All right, you know what? Bennett, you win. You got me. you fucking got me, bro. So I think it is way smarter than it wants you to think it is. And yeah. And like, you can also play it and not pick up on any of that stuff and just have it be super hard challenge parkour game kind of thing.
Sure.
And I think that's fine. But I think also the part that makes it great is what you're able to get out of it. Because you're like, it's hard. And so you should be getting something out of it other than the concept of just finishing it. You should be getting something else out of it. And there's plenty to do there. So, but yeah, that's baby steps. It's a weird one, man. It's a weird one.
As advertised.
Yes.
I don't think anybody listening, you'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah, they weren't selling
he
us
made
a bill
a
of goods
weird
with
game?
that. Yeah.
Well, how about something completely different?
Sure.
Silent Hill F.
Yeah, I also played
Why did they
this.
call it Silent Hill F? That's the question I have.
Well, it's also like, it's an F, like a
lowercase,
like a
like a
fortissimo
forte.
F or forte.
No, forte.
Yeah. Fortissimo.
I think we did this
3 Fs
bit
or whatever.
on the last podcast.
You're
Fortissimo
probably right.
would be FF.
FF.
Fortissimo is FFF.
FFF. Yeah. So it's Silent Hill Forte. They so I dropped it. Unfortunately.
Like
I
on the
made
ground?
kind of. In effect. I made it halfway through the game. The combat is so bad. It's so fucking bad. And everyone that I tell this to in the communities that I'm a part of online, their immediate response is, well, but it's a Silent Hill game. The combat's never really the point. You don't fucking get how bad this is. It is.
But also, you're doing it a lot.
Yeah. That's
I don't understand this. Like, yeah, it's
so
always
in the
bad.
way. It's so in the fucking way in this game. It is unavoidable. There's so much fighting. Everything in all the systems and mechanics, aside from the puzzles, revolve around the combat. And it takes place in Japan. And I think all the setting stuff, the musical score, the characterization, all of that's like, it's beautiful. All that stuff hits. It's all great. I do think some of the characterization stuff early on is annoying because it's like Japanese teens. But like the combat, it fucking sucks, man. And the way in which it sucks is unfixable because Hinako, who's the main character, she's just a Japanese teen. Now, she's maybe a little bit more of a tomboy than some of the other girls in the village or whatever, but you know, she's just a teenager. She's never fought anything before. So when she swings a lead pipe or a sledgehammer or whatever it is, you know, it's ungainly. It's a long animation. There's a lot of recovery time after the swing. There's a stamina system and a sanity system. This like each swing takes a lot of her stamina. Like you can only get a handful of swings in before all your stamina's out. And the early enemies are pretty slow and their attack frequency is pretty low. So it that felt a little better paced in the beginning, but then they start throwing more enemy types at you. They're much faster, much more agile, and Hinako's not really getting better at fighting. And so it's like, it's a lot of insane animation commitment. It's like every swing is such a commitment, and you can be heavily punished. There's a lot of interrupts happening, which sucks because a lot of the enemies' attacks happen very fast, and they don't oh god, what's the word? Choreograph?
Stagger.
They don't like telegraph. They don't telegraph their attacks very well beforehand because there are interruptible, blockable attacks and like I guess counterable attacks and parryable. There are parryable attacks and non-parryable attacks. And the parryable attacks are signified by like a slight like rainbow shimmer after image right before the attack happens. But it doesn't. So in order to parry, you need to attack them while that after image is in appearance or whatever. And so the timing on it is really tight, where it's like I'm either going to hit R2 for a heavy attack to interrupt and parry, or I'm going to hit circle to dodge out of the way, and the timing on that is so tight. And that I found that to be the most frustrating part. And they sometimes throw multiple enemies at you at the same time of different types, and like the fucking management around that, like the stamina management, health management, sanity management in those situations is awful. It's like every combat I felt like I was lucking my way through it, and I was taking so many hits. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I was on, because there are two difficulties, story mode and hard mode. I was on story mode.
Okay.
So it's like I had done all the things that I could do to make the game easier for myself. But like you have to engage with this combat. And I did not get a feel for it after 5 hours. I could not lock it in whatsoever.
I mean,
like,
is that... Is
even
it something
when you,
that's
even when
been
you
called
dodge,
out a lot?
Not really. Because people are just like, Silent Hill doesn't have very good combat.
It is.
But like the Silent Hill 2 remake combat was way better. I mean, you had firearms and stuff in that game, so you had more options. But this is like in Japan, citizens don't really have access to firearms like they do in America, obviously.
Right.
So it's all melee based. And yeah, and like Hinako is useless, man. And like I found that I was so frustrated with the combat that no part of the game was scary to me anymore. I was just like, I would just enter a new area and have this sinking feeling of, what enemy am I going to have to fucking fight this time? And it just completely ruined the entire vibe and got in the way completely for me of my ability to enjoy some of the settings and mood and tone and stuff. Yeah, it fucking sucks. That combat is so bad. I think like a lot of the other stuff they're doing is very good. Like I found the puzzles to be interesting. I was on the hard mode for the puzzles, but on the story mode for the combat, because you can kind of delineate between the two. And I thought that's like cool. the harder puzzles were cool, like solving those and figuring that stuff out, looking at notes and looking at the environment, exploring. I thought like the level design was pretty good. But there are like a lot of really tight areas, which again kind of gets in the way of a lot of the combat. And like the enemies, so this is another frustrating thing. The enemies can attack you no matter what. Like they don't get interrupted unless you're or like parrying them. But if you're like too close to a wall or a door frame or thing, like your attack can hit that and then like glance off and not complete the attack. And then Hinako does like this recovery animation, and then you're just gonna take a bunch of fucking hits. Even when you dodge, Hinako has like half a second recovery from the dodge. So it's like, even if I'm trying to just run past an enemy and I try to dodge past it, like it's in, and like there are enemies that just move faster than you do, so you simply cannot get away from them. And it sucks, man. It's not a fun time, not a fun game.
That's a bummer. Like I'm just scrolling through the Metacritic reviews, and granted,
a lot of people
these are just
like
summations, but like the game, it's got a lot of 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, and interestingly,
I don't understand it.
Those reviews do not say anything about the combat. It's always it's how beautiful the game is, how engrossing it is, the puzzles,
all
the
those
story.
Things are true.
Yeah, just glancing, but
and I've heard the story evolves with New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus. Like you're getting so Silent Hill often has different endings you can get, and I guess those are the New Game Plus and stuff. And like there are other kind of changes throughout the experience for New Game Plus and Plus Plus and stuff. And it would be cool to see that stuff. It feels so goddamn bad to play.
That's too bad.
I was not able to lock it in and figure it out. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
So
you got two more horror games on here, Dead Take and Eclipsium. Let's run through those.
Yeah, so
I'm really interested in Dead Take. It's got a pretty like A-list cast.
It does. I can't remember the name of the guy you play as, the actor's name. But Ben Starr is in it. He kind of plays opposite you in some stuff.
Neil Newborn.
The dude from Baldur's Gate.
Yes, yeah. Baldur's Gate. He played Astarion. Laura Bailey is in it. Matt Mercer is in it briefly. So it's and there's a lot of FMV in it.
Sam Lake's in it.
Yes, actually, yes. You're
Alana
right.
Pierce.
I forgot. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. But yeah, Sam Lake is great. No, dude. She sucks in this. I'll just say. Alana
she's
Pierce
not an actor.
Right.
That's fine. She's
not good in this. They should have picked someone else. I am also, take what I say with a grain of salt, because I also just don't really like Alana Pierce all that much.
That's the O. That was the O response. She's fine.
Right. But she, in this, genuinely, if I'm judging acting, putting her next to other people who are actors does not hold up. I think it's it relies a little bit for a horror game. It relies quite a bit on jump scares, unfortunately, to like kind of ratchet up some of that horror aspect. There are some good tension building sequences, but it is just more about experiencing this narrative, and it does have like an interesting puzzle mechanic of you're getting this footage from around this house and splicing it together to create new footage by using this like AI tool kind of thing, and then like previewing that footage in like a little theater, and then part of the world, part of the environment changes based upon the footage that you're playing, and that's how you're kind of progressing through the game. And you could do things in a couple different orders as well, so it's like a little bit. There are a few different branches that you can go through to get to the ending. But yeah, it's a story.
Is it trying to do like a Sam Barlow kind of thing? Is that like the structure? Because you said like you're trying to uncover the different stories and stuff.
I'm not familiar. Sam Barlow.
Her story.
Not quite. I mean, there's a little bit of DNA from that, but it's like you're going around and solving pretty traditional, scary environmental puzzles in this giant mansion, this like tech billionaire mansion, and finding some like USB sticks with footage that you go to a location, plug it in, and then trying different combinations of that footage with other footage you found. Then you go watch a movie, and part of the environment changes to then progress the story. Find the next piece of footage. But yeah, so you're learning a little bit more about because like your main character, the person that name that Cody said, he was going for the same part as Ben Starr's character, and so this director kind of called him in and said, hey, you know, come to this party, and so you learn a little bit more about the relationship with the director's relationship with the people around him. Like, he's considered like this super auteur film director who demands a lot from his actors, and so it's a lot about kind of the traps of the profession of acting, the psychology that goes into like having friends who are actors and coming up against them, and competing against them, and how you talk about each other behind each other's backs, how that affects relationships and friendships. There's a lot of that stuff. There's also some other, you know, darker parts of psychology that are explored in some of the notes and sequences and stuff. It is a horror game. There, you know, some content warning stuff in there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was like 3.5 hours. So it's kind of a one sitting kind of game, which I think is the right amount of time to play this game. It was fine. I kind of came away from I'm a little conflicted on the ending. It feels like they didn't quite know how to end it, so they did kind of like a little bit of a campy move at the end, which I didn't love. But it was cool to see some of those actors like not just be voice actors, but also like get to do some, you know, on camera time. Like, I hadn't seen Ben Starr do acting. I'd only really heard voice acting from him. And I thought he did a really nice job with some of his scenes where he has to, like, you know, he's playing an actor. Like, he is an actor playing a part.
Yeah. But
also, you know, having some relationship stuff happening on the side and all that. So there's like a couple layers deep there, and I thought he did a really nice job. The main character guy also did a fantastic job. And like Laura Bailey and Matt Mercer are in it, like very small bits, but they were both good. Sam Lake also just kind of playing Sam Lake, as he
or
does.
Or is he
Is the right question. Now
That's
you're
the whole
thinking.
thing.
See, you would like Alan Wake. But yeah, that's Dead Take. It came out this year? Late last year?
Yeah, I think so.
This year. But that's a recent
Just
one.
a couple months ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was like June or something, right? But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was. I'm several horror games deep now. This month I played a lot of them. I probably got the least out of it as like a narrative, unfortunately, but I think it was still worth my time playing. I still enjoyed it. And then you mentioned I played Eclipsium. This is like sort of a PS1 graphical style, so a big shocker, I like it. But it has this overlay on the graphics where it's almost like the dot printing from old comic books. And you can adjust the intensity of that however you want. I played it with like the default, like pretty high intensity effect on the visuals, and it's intense looking.
I'm watching on the trailer on Steam. I do not like like how this looks at all. This is scary. I do not like it.
Yeah, it's in typical horror medium fashion. It's the whole experience. It's a surreal experience that is a metaphor for grief and processing negative experiences that are happening to presumably the player character in real life. So it's them going through something. I think it's about the player character going through. This is what it's not spelled out for you. This is what I picked up on, but it's about the player characters, a person important to them going through something horrible and seeing them go through that, and the grief that and stress that comes along with that, the guilt and shame and stuff associated with that as well. This was a super short game. I want to say this was like 2 hours. Let's see, Eclipsium. How long did I play that one for? Okay, 3 hours for Eclipsium. Dead Take. Okay, Dead Take was only 2 hours, so Eclipsium was a little longer than Dead Take. But yeah, it has a fucking look. I would say there's less gameplay than even in Dead Take. I think there are some puzzles to solve, but mostly it is moving through an area and taking in the sights and sounds of it, and just kind of experiencing what some of those like cacophonous visuals and sounds can make you feel, and trying to interpret some of the surrealist aspects of the environment, trying to interpret those into meaning from the character's perspective. So I think that's a little bit more what the gameplay experience is like. It's less actually doing stuff and more kind of interpretive, but there are a couple of actual puzzles in there. There's one section where you're moving through the world and the screen is bifurcated in the middle, and if you look to the right, it like expands out from the middle. So like, let's say you're looking down a hallway and there's a tiny line in the middle where the screen is split. Let's say you look to the right, the hallway will like shrink and become a wall. But if you look to the left, the hallway expands and then you can move down the hallway. So it's like using, and up and down also has effects and stuff. And there was one solution where I kind of had to like turn around and walk backwards at one point in order to get through a thing. But like stairs are really fucked up when you're doing that as well. There's some like really, I was stuck in that area for a little while because it was kind of breaking my brain. That section I think will stick with me for a while just because the mechanics of it and the look. I won't forget that anytime soon. It was really cool. There's another like sequence of like paintings and like doing things in one painting affecting another thing, and then bringing a painting into another painting to affect the things inside that painting. There are like some sequences. Yeah, there's a lot of like just some really, really fucking cool stuff. But yeah, I highly recommend Eclipsium if you're into a mood piece, more of a mood piece. There's one sequence, actually it happens a couple times, but I entered a room, like an underground room, and there's a very large woman in that room, and like it's the image of the game, like the box art basic on Steam or whatever, but she like has, you can see one eye and she's looking at you, and your camera becomes fixed to her eye, and you're trying to move around the space and move, and her like head is tracking and moving in 3D space with you, and your camera's like zoomed in and locked on her eye looking at you. You're trying to navigate the space as you're moving around, and like this fucking terrifying. Like something about the way the camera's locked in, the look, like trying to navigate that space like that fucked me up big time. It is terrifying. It happens a couple times.
No, thank you.
It was a very cool game. Eclipsium is.
Here's
a cool
what I
game.
can add to the Eclipsium conversation. I watched you play the beginning of this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
literally the first thing you do is cut your tongue out of your mouth.
That's right. Yeah, there's some mutilation stuff. Self-mutilation stuff. Yeah, because there's a lot of...
Dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you see, because it's first person perspective, you just see his hand go up to his tongue and hold it out, and then he's got scissors in his
and
other
cut
hand.
it. Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I guess I'm cutting my tongue out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then like,
Yeah.
I think you like poke holes in your hands or something, like sort of a Christ-like
I think
thing.
you even pull your heart out at one point.
Yeah, you
right?
pull your heart out at one point, and then at the end, you actually pull your ribs out and use them as climbing things. So it's about like the guilt and shame and like the sacrifice. Like you want to give everything to this person who is suffering, but you can't fix them. All you can do is just try and show up and be there and like experience it with them. But like you literally want to pull the heart out of your chest and give it to this person to fix them. And so it's a lot of like that stuff.
Should have tried to give him your dick instead.
Oh,
there it is.
That would have
Nice.
worked.
There it is.
nice.
That would have solved it.
Yeah, just the
Solves
whole
every
like
problem.
the game opens, you unzip your pants, you hold out your dick, and you cut it off with scissors, and then offer it up. Yeah.
That would have been better probably than the tongue.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyways,
Yeah, that sounds like not my kind of game. I did play a game that is also not typically my kind of game, which is a roguelike. I played some of the Rogue Prince of Persia, which came out in early access last year, but released in 1.0 like a month or so ago. And it was on PlayStation Plus. And I was like, yeah, I can give me something to talk about on the podcast. I put probably 4-ish hours into it. I think in early access, the game had a very cool like purple tone to the character's skin color, and like the backgrounds were a little more watercolor looking and like interesting color combinations, and they stripped all that out. And that like is a bummer. I feel like it had a really distinct look to it that I feel like is lost. I think the game animates exceptionally well. This is made by the team that finished work on Dead Cells. So there was like the main team that made Dead Cells, and then they handed it off. Am I remembering this correctly? Now I'm wondering if I'm mixing this up with one of the new games.
because there are like a couple Prince of Persia rogue things.
Evil Empire.
There were 2 Prince of Persia games.
Yes. No, I'm correct. Okay.
Okay.
I'm correct.
It's the Dead Cells folks.
Yeah, because there's the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and the new Shinobi game this year that I was like, was it one of those? No, but I was right.
Okay.
Edit this out. Don't
I
actually edit
won't.
it out.
I won't.
But yes, Evil Empire. So they worked on Dead Cells and they made this, and I think it's got a lot of the same DNA in that it's very weapon and tool oriented in how its roguelike nature starts. So like each map, you're presented with 2 weapons, then you can buy an upgrade where you get 3 options and you pick, and that's like the key thing that you're doing. There's a lot of platforming. It's pretty quick. I think the platforming stuff is like mostly good. There's a cool system where, it's a 2D side-scrolling game, but you can wall run both horizontally and vertically, and that kind of messed with my mind a little bit at first.
I saw some of that, yeah. Like you're
it's
running
like
on
not
the
a
background
thing.
wall.
You're running on the
Weird.
background, and especially to wall run vertically on the background wall was like, I'm like, I want to double jump. I don't know what the run is.
Right, yeah.
And so that it took me a while to like get used to that as an option as I'm exploring and navigating. There's not a ton of like what I would consider platforming challenges. It's mostly you're using it to explore. The combat is sort of the main thing you're doing, and I think the combat is pretty weak. It's just very straightforward. Each weapon has, a basic attack that animates differently, and then each weapon type has a special attack that like aren't that interesting. Like you have the dual daggers where you kind of like zoom through. There are ranged weapons like a bow, or there's like I don't remember what it's called, but it's that like circle with spikes on it that you throw and it comes back to you.
Okay.
But it's just like, it's not that engaging. There aren't that many enemy types. At least I played 3 different levels.
Okay.
But it's mostly the same enemies that are on each level. It's basically, it's like the design, the look of each level is different.
But like the archetypes are kind of the same.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
You're doing the same stuff on each one.
How do you move from level to level? Like, what's the progression?
Yeah, there's sort of a hub world a la Hades, where when you die, you come back to it, and that's where the meta progression is happening, where you're buying upgrades. In each map, you're also like finding characters that you then send back to, I think they call it the Oasis, is like the hub area. Like new vendors and stuff and people that'll help progress in the story. But then you are unlocking zones that you just like run off screen into, and then it loads you into that zone, and each zone has multiple stages. So it'll have like 2 levels and then a boss stage, 3 levels and then a boss stage. And I only ever finished the first chunk of one of them. Like I beat 1 boss is all I was able to do, and it took me like 4 or 5 tries. The game is stupid easy in the regular levels. Like I never died in a regular level. I only died fighting the bosses.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of frustrating because it felt like the difficulty ramping was kind of uneven. And you have to, like, when you die, you start over. So you got to do those 2 levels over again. And they are procedurally generated also. So it's not like you can do an easy run back and find the stuff you need. It's going to be different every time.
Yeah.
I liked the meta progression. I'm a huge fan of Hades. I'm not a big fan of roguelikes, but that meta progression and the meta storytelling is what compelled me through that game. And I think this has a lot of elements of that. It isn't just buying new perks. There's also some story stuff.
Nice.
But there was nothing else that like kept me, like, because most of what you're doing is combat and the combat's pretty straightforward. It wasn't that interesting. Okay. I did like that guy, liked the bosses, but when you have to go through 3 levels in order to get to a boss every time, that was kind of tedious. So yeah, I don't know. Your mileage may vary for folks that are like, I feel like roguelikes are like the genre these days. And for folks that are super into them, there might be something here, but also maybe not. Like, I don't know. Other than the sort of like wall running thing, which is mostly just like a mind fuck until you learn it. Yeah. I don't know that this is bringing anything that you haven't seen before.
Sure.
Which is kind of disappointing because I had pretty high expectations given the visual style, which admittedly they changed, and the music is killer. Like, it's got it reminds me a lot of the Prince of Persia game from last year, the Metroidvania one, where it's this cool combination of sort of like hip hoppy metal vibes combined with the more Middle Eastern woodwind kind of thing. So yeah, the music is pretty kick-ass. But yeah, that's the Rogue Prince of Persia.
And there's no time rewinding?
No. The Oasis hub city is sort of that mechanic on how the time
how it
works.
resets or whatever.
Yeah, and at least where I got in the story, you're still trying to figure out how that is working. I imagine that becomes a bigger part of the story. But yeah, that's sort of how they integrated that is there are upgrades that you can get to if you die, you can die once and get 50% health back. So that I would say is, but there's no actual rewinding that's happening.
Yeah.
Which is a miss. I hadn't thought about that.
I'm
That's
still
kind
waiting
of the
on
whole
that
thing.
Waiting on that Sands of Time remake.
I mean, they had it in the what was that Warrior? What was it called, Cody? The one
Warrior
from last year,
Within.
The Lost Crown.
Oh.
Lost Crown.
Lost Crown. Yeah, Warrior Within was the old one. Lost Crown. That had some timey rewindy mechanics to it.
Okay.
That game was good. That game was real good.
Yes, it was.
Better than I mean, different style games, but yeah. That combat and Lost Crown was incredible. There's nothing like that in Rogue Prince of Persia.
That one's like a Metroidvania, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is also not a game style that I tend to love,
True.
but the combat was so awesome. And there was a lot of good platforming challenge in that game too.
Yep.
Go play that game.
Game.
No offense to Rogue Prince of Persia, but everybody should go play The Lost Crown. I'm pretty sure that studio got shut down. Or at least moved to a different project because the game didn't sell well.
Won awards at Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Game Awards.
Funny how that happens all the fucking time.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a good transition for this. I was trying to categorize all these games that had flowed, and I didn't have a good one here.
Speaking of something that happens all the fucking time, remakes.
Yeah, sure.
Or I thought you were going just Final Fantasy there.
But also Final Fantasy.
Either way it works. You guys both played this, right?
Yes, yeah. We're both playing it right now. Ooh, not really. This podcast
Unprofessional.
takes too much of my mental acuity to play a game at the same time. Yeah, Cody, what do you think of Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles?
Fucking awesome, man.
Turns out
neither of you have
good.
played the original.
I played
I've
some
only
of
ever
it.
played Tactics. That's the only
or Advanced.
or
Tactics
Advance.
Advance. Yeah.
So I played most of Tactics Advanced. I've never actually beaten that one, but I've played it like a million times. Played like 400 hours of it. And I've played some of the original Tactics, which this is a remake of, but not much of it.
Got it.
I think I got it on PS3, like the PlayStation Network on PS3, and played like an hour of it or something back in the day.
Okay.
But
man, it's cool.
It's pretty
I'm not
too.
I'm not sure if the hand-drawn illustrated cutscenes are those in the original or are those done for this?
So I think some of those were in like the War of the Lions PSP version, but they added voice acting in this, which I have turned off. But
the visuals are
the painting effect on it is so
not
pretty.
even just the gameplay. That fucking opening cutscene with like the hand-drawn look is unlike anything I feel like I've just not
really
seen
cool.
that look before.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Granted, I've only seen it in that cutscene. I think I just finished chapter 1, so I don't know if I'm going to get another one of those going into the next chapter. But man, those cinematics look awesome, and then the gameplay, graphical style looks so goddamn good.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
I love it.
Just like the painterly look.
Yeah, man.
Man, it really, really looks just incredible.
Yeah.
The voice acting, I know you said you had it turned off. I think it's been pretty good. I think did I hear Ben Starr is in? Did I hear his voice?
I don't know. Probably.
I think he's one of the main character's brothers. It sounds like him at least.
He and Square Enix are tight after Final Fantasy 16.
So I think the voice acting's been really good. There's a lot of nice quality of life stuff where you can auto progress dialogue, which is nice.
Yeah.
You can fast forward both through dialogue and through combat and stuff. I think the job system's really fleshed out, and the progression system in this is really neat. How you can sort of pick and choose abilities from all the different jobs to include on your character or any number of characters.
It seems like, well, not seems like, it definitely is, but even when your character is performing one job, you're getting the most job points for that job, but it also seems to be you're getting some points in every job that you have available.
Yes.
So like you could be grinding one and still have enough points to get like, oh, like the one ability that I want as an archer, I can go ahead and get that one over time. It's like I feel like, I don't know if that was in the original or not, but that's a smart design decision.
So you're saying you like
micromanage as much.
You like mandatory experience share?
That's
totally not experience share. That's like it's not a good analogy because like that would be like, oh, every Pokemon can be every type, and so when your Pokemon beats another Pokemon, it gets XP for its type and also a little bit of XP for all the other types that can learn moves. So it's not an analogy that works, Shay. I'm sorry. You can't own this lib today, bro.
No, you are right. I was misunderstanding how it worked. Yes. Each character earns
can be
XP
any job
for their chosen job and also the other jobs, but only for that character. It's
Correct.
not all the characters. I got you.
Yep.
Correct. You're right. That is different.
But yeah, it's awesome. It fucking rules. It's just an incredible video game.
It really is. It's got a lot of really cool, like the last few Final Fantasies have done a really good job of their sort of lore keeping. It's got some really great features of it. It's got a timeline view where it shows like the world map and where all the different characters are at different points of the timeline, and it gives full descriptions of them. It has a full breakdown of the story, so you can go back and rewatch cutscenes or re-listen to dialogue, but it also has like a text description of the scene in case you don't want to sit through, or you need, I needed better comprehension of what was actually going on because there's a lot of proper nouns and being thrown around and whatnot. But yeah, I want to sink just so much time into this game.
And the story's really good. Like, really good. And also like fairly relevant class warfare stuff about the haves and have-nots, nobles versus commoners kind of stuff. But it's a lot of that, and kind of like your main character is a little bit like a foot in both worlds, right? And so feels empathy where the other nobles don't, and is discovering things about his family, like that half of his family and other stuff. So I can definitely like see places where the story is going, and they do a good job of endearing you to some of the side characters, because like in the first chapter you have a couple guys you're running around with in addition to your regular party members. Like you don't control them in combat, they kind of go off and do their own thing, but like they're present in all the cutscenes. They're important characters that you're learning a lot about, and so like having them participate in the combat with you during the story fights, I feel like gives you a little bit of, and they're kind of behaving in fights in ways that also are representative of kind of like what their personalities are like in the cutscenes and stuff too. I found that to be true, and I like little touches like that. I think that was fun. So it's
something
like
that really. Oh, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
You're good.
I was just gonna say something that really works for me with this kind of game that I feel like we don't get too often in games much anymore is a mission-based style versus like an Octopath Traveler or some of these other more recent HD 2D, or old RPGs, is where there's a lot of that exploration and moving through the world. That's where sometimes I get a little like, okay, well, I don't know where to go or whatever, and I'm gonna fall off. I like just an overworld map with a bunch of pinpointed locations I can go to, and I just go there, and it's exposition and then combat. There's none of the exploring, which I've missed. I like that a lot. That's like, it sort of reminds me of like Metal Gear Solid 5. That game was totally almost entirely mission based, which
you could run around in the open world, but you could also just do the little self-contained missions.
So yeah, I really like that part of this game too, of just like it allows me to just keep going one after the other without for me, a sort of slog of having to find or travel to my next place. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It also like, it chunks it up, like makes it, because I'm playing on Switch too.
Damn, I was
And-
going to ask if you got this on PC so that I could maybe play it on Steam Family Sharing.
Yeah, but it's a really good handheld experience because you just pop in, you do a fight, and then put it down.
I've been playing on the Portal because I got it on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
So
Turns out,
it's good.
good game, still good. Weirdly
And I
enough.
hope this leads to Tactics Advanced remake.
Oh my god, dude. I would crap my pants.
I really hope this is done well for them so that can happen.
I want that painterly aesthetic over that snowball fight.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
It's not my type of game, and I played some Tactics Advance back in the day. I would love to give this a shot. It's just so hard to justify that. There's just so much stuff, man.
Yeah.
$50.
It's true. There's a lot to play.
Yep. All right, Kyle, you got a handful more
Oh yeah.
rando good time indie games.
Sure. So the first of which is Megabonk. This is a Vampire Survivors like. It's 3D, pretty cartoony graphics, a little bit of cell shading going on, kind of like simplified 3D graphics. It is a very good Vampire Survivors like. I think it has very clear progression because so it has. So you go in, and you do your run that's like increasing in difficulty as the timer goes along. Whatever you're like, you kill enemies which drop experience. You pick up the experience gems. They fill a bar at the top. The bar fills, and then you get to choose either a new weapon, a new tome, which is like a passive thing, or a new upgrade for one of the weapons or tomes you already have equipped. And it's all randomly generated, like, rolls on stuff. Like, you can get legendary rolls on that like super buff your weapons for a level or whatever. There's that. As you're killing enemies, you're also getting gold, which you can use to open chests or interact with vendors that spawn on the map. The chests will give you a trinket, and there are, of course, rarities of trinkets. And just like one of these kinds of games, there are synergies between different trinkets and different weapons that you're looking for. Each character has its own weapon and passive ability, so there are also synergies that you can interact with there. And so as you're playing, you're getting the stuff. You're also getting silver, which is your permanent meta progression currency outside of the outside of the runs. And your goal is to beat find the portal to summon the boss on the map and kill it before the timer runs out. Because if the timer runs out, it starts going into negative time, and all these really hard enemies show up, and they just keep getting harder and more and faster until they eventually kill you. But if you can kill the boss, then you can progress on to the next stage, and there are 3 tiers per environment. And then outside, like the meta progression, you unlock quests, which give you specific instructions on what you need to do. Kill this number of enemies with this character to unlock this thing, or get this tome to level 12 to unlock this new type of trinket that probably has a synergy with that tome. So it's very easy to go into the quest and be like, yeah, I'm going to do a run where I'm targeting these Frostwalker boots or whatever. So I'm going to go try and get all the things, all the conditions that will maximize my chance of getting to do the thing that lets me unlock this. Because I can see a use for this with this other build that I've been thinking about doing. So it's a lot of that stuff. A very clear progression. You're never not progressing because the first enemy you kill gives you 1 silver. So as long as you kill 1 enemy, you will be walking away with at least 1 piece of currency you can use. So it's smart from that point of view. They've been doing some balance patches and stuff on it, but it came out like last week, and I've just been doing the odd run in between other stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And I'm at like 14 hours in it already, which is crazy, for a game like that and for me. But yeah, it's a very, very good one of those. It's called Megabonk. So if you were into Vampire Survivors at all, you should absolutely check this out. It runs great on Steam Deck as well.
I had a pretty hardcore couple of weeks with Vampire Survivors. I think it came to Game Pass maybe, and I played it and ended up putting like 10 hours into it over the course of a week, which for me is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kinds of games can be very addictive because they're very passive and also very engaging simultaneously.
Good podcast games.
Yeah.
Easy to hop on, do a single run, whatever. I also played Keep Digging, which is a game very much like a game about digging a hole, which I played earlier this year, except this one's co-op, and it has like a couple of quality of life things, but it's really just that. It's physics-based digging, filling your inventory up with stuff you dug up, and then selling it to buy and upgrades for your digging equipment that let you dig further and farther, and you're trying to dig down to the bottom. And it has a funny thing that happens at the end. So it's just another one of those. I beat it in a sitting. It was like an hour and a half or something to beat it. It was plenty of fun. This would be a very fun thing. It's a super cheap game. It would be very fun to play with friends and just like all be digging together and fucking around. It's got like some humor to it and stuff. So if you're looking for like an afternoon to kill with some friends or just yourself, and you like this kind of like mindless games like I like, this would be a very good one of those. A cheap one to do. So let's keep digging. And then thirdly, I played a little bit of CloverPit, which released this week or last week or something. There was a demo for this, but it's a like Balatro, but a slot machine with the mood and tone of Inscription, if people know what Inscription is. Like a dark tone. You're stuck in this room over a grate that if you don't pay your debt off within a certain number of rounds, the grate opens, you fall, and you die, and you have to start over. But it's a slot machine. You're unlocking charms that affect the percentage rates and chance rates of things proccing for the slots. And you're just progressing through these rounds, trying to get more and more money to reach a goal, which lets you unlock a drawer, which opens up another set of mechanics for you to then strive towards. And you're unlocking new kinds of charms and stuff that have synergies with other charms and other things you're going for. So it's one of those, and they do a very good job. Like all the sounds, like the little visual animation elements that go along with it. I think it's very satisfying and fun to play with that little bit of danger kind of in the background lurking at all times. Right. That lends a little bit of tension. Really good sound design, and that's a cool one. So CloverPit is that one. I think that's interesting at all.
The description of Balatro plus Inscription,
that pretty much
slots. Yeah,
it's compelling,
accurate, and compelling. Definitely compelling.
Right.
Yeah. Cody, are you interested in that at all? I know you were like head over heels for Balatro.
You're on mute.
I sure was. Yeah, I would probably check that out.
Yeah, did you play Inscription?
No, I never did.
That's also
on the
cool
service
game.
Somewhere. I think I know not everybody has all the same streaming services, but I'm pretty sure that was on PS Plus at some point because I have that on in my backlog.
Could be.
Another game that I'm never gonna play.
I know, right?
I should. Yeah.
Yeah, but should. Will never, but should.
Cody, a game that you aren't playing.
Yes.
But that you wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Or a series of games.
Right. I have had the Uncharted series on my revisit / platinum list for a bit. And I fully intended on picking that up and playing through that once I was wrapped up with Kingdom Hearts. But it's also something that I knew my wife would very much enjoy. She likes the more recent narrative-based Sony first-party games. So I was like, oh, well, Uncharted 4 is like right there. I mean, right up there with the best of them. So I downloaded the trilogy and the Nathan Drake collection. I watched her play through those. She's just been going through them on easy just to really get the story out of them. Even on easy, that first Uncharted game, the movement, the whatever you want to call that,
pretty loosey-goosey.
Climbing, it's really not great. Especially she just came off of playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is like, you know, like some of the best. To that was pretty rough. But I really think the story and the characters really got her, really pushed her through that. She's really endeared by them. And then as soon as she finished 1, I mean, the same night she rolled credits on 1, started up 2, and was like, holy cow.
Totally.
The graphical upgrade, the way that game starts, you know, with the train. I mean, immediate, and then I'd like played for a couple hours, you know, late at night. I mean, it just pulls you right in.
And it plays so much better.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely loved too. She really adored Tenzin's the goat. I mean, really great game. And then we just briefly, when she beat 2, we started right into 3 again that night. Again, not as much of a graphical upgrade, but they really honed in 3, and they focused on the melee combat system in that one, obviously. Now, here's the thing about 3, as again, she was on easy. That game is hard. Like that, there were a couple times I picked it up. Again, we're on easy. I'm dying. Like the cheap shots, enemies coming out of left field.
Sure.
Man, there's so many enemies. Like, we're on the easiest difficulty, and it is hard. I cannot imagine, like, if there's 3 other difficulties above that. Crushing, I think, is the hardest.
I have a very distinct memory because I played 1 and 2 on hard difficulty, and I played 3 on hard difficulty. I will always remember the section in 3 after you finish the, like, desert wandering, where you get into, like, the temple and are just bombarded, and every single fucking enemy has a rocket launcher. It took me over an hour to beat that combat encounter on hard mode, and it was all bullshit. You just get exploded constantly. It's burned into my memory how unfun that one specific section was.
So after 3, that was her least favorite, just because of that. It was just like, I don't even know that I want to do 4, and I was just like, please, you beat 3.
The like special enemies at the end suck too.
Yeah.
The like
So here's what
teleporting
I'll say.
smoky guys.
I didn't remember the supernatural stuff as like going into this, but like I kind of wish it wasn't there.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's all kind of dumb.
I know it. I know it adds to like the Indiana Jones kind of fun thing, but like the games are all so pretty self-serious and grounded for like the first 2/3, and then at the ends of all of them they introduce the supernatural stuff, and it's just like it just feels out of nowhere. At least in 3, it's justified a little bit because he's like tripping balls at the end when all the supernatural things show up. So like it's like, okay, well, that one's a little more believable. But yeah, the stuff in 1 and 2 I don't super love.
The like golem creatures in the first one are like sufficiently scary, at least. Like they add a new mechanic where they run at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the giant hulking guys with the crossbows in 2 were a pain in the ass, and then 3 was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the guys who have fire heads or whatever.
Yeah.
After she finished 3, I was just like, hold on. I pull up the reveal trailer of Uncharted 4, where it's it's the dialogue of Nate and Sully, and then you just get the cut from black to his face laying on the sand, and Tessa's like, holy shit, like this looks so much better, like unbelievable how good Nate looks here. And then we started that up, and she's past the Crash Bandicoot section, which was just a hoot to have her experience.
That's so fun.
Such a fun little thing. So yeah, I'm making sure that she doesn't play 4 unless I'm there, because I want to experience that with her. But
Totally.
This has been a great revisit. I mean, I'm not even really been playing it. I've just been watching her play it, and I've been having a really good time. Not only revisiting it for myself, but seeing someone experience these games for the first time is really special and a lot of fun.
That it bums me out because I tried to play Uncharted with my wife, like after we finished. What the hell were we playing? Because we bounced off of, we played The Last of Us, and then we bounced off The Last of Us 2, and I wanted something to play that she would watch, because she likes watching story-oriented games. And I was like, let's do Uncharted. It's not as engrossing and dramatic, but it's still a really good story with great characters. and we've probably got like halfway through. There's just too much gameplay.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of
story
combat
to
A lot of
watch.
combat. Yeah.
So like to play it, like, and I totally agree. The first game just does not hold up very well from a combat perspective, but playing it makes it way more fun than just passively
100%.
watching it.
Yeah,
But now that she's been hooked on Stardew Valley on her Switch, so maybe we could do that and I could play and she could just look up during cutscenes.
Right.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah.
But that's a good time. I'm glad that
it
she's
is.
enjoying it. Or is she going to play Lost Legacy?
Oh yeah, that'll be after 4. Yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I like Lost Legacy more than 4. I think it's a tighter experience. I think the puzzles in Lost Legacy I think are really,
and
really
both
cool.
in 4 and Lost Legacy, that Jeep controls just so well.
Yeah.
Yes,
that is a good car in a video game.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I like in Lost Legacy the open world section. There's more going on than in Uncharted 4. Like in Uncharted 4, there are these huge areas with there's nothing really to do except find random collectibles for no reason. Yeah. What a series, man.
Yeah.
I'd love for them to make another one, but they seem pretty intent on going back to Last of Us after whatever. What's the next one called?
Intergalactic?
Intergalactic.
The Heretic
The
Prophet.
Heretic Prophet.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned my wife's been playing a lot of Stardew Valley on Switch. That was causing not actual arguments, but playful arguments between the two of us because I want to play stuff and she always has my Switch, and so I can't play stuff. And so we finally were like, you know what? Screw it, man. I watched a Donkey Kong Bonanza review, and it looked really fun. And I said, hey, babe, do you want to buy a Switch too? And that can be our Christmas gift to each other. And she said, yeah, sure, let's do it. You know that we're still going to end up getting each other Christmas gifts, right? Like, we're not going to hold to that. And I was like, oh, yeah, totally. I just want an excuse to go buy a Switch too. Yeah. And she was super on board. So we bought a Switch too, baby. I'm a gamer again.
Nice. Welcome back.
Honestly, the biggest reason was so that she can play Stardew Valley on the Switch and I can play stuff on Switch too, and we don't have to fight over it because she's addicted. She was addicted on phone, and then I was like, hey, you should check it out on Switch just for fun, and it'll get you better at using the analog sticks. And now she's addicted to it on Switch. She even started a game on my Steam Deck before we got the Switch 2 to when I wanted to use the Switch, she can play her Steam Deck version. When I want to play the Steam Deck, she can play her Switch version. But now we're all copacetic.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to touch the Switch 2. So yeah, all that to say, I have been playing a good amount of Donkey Kong Bonanza. I know you guys talked a lot about this when it first came out, so we don't need to revisit everything. But the biggest frustration that I've had with that game is I introduced it to my kids because I thought they would like it. And they super did. The problem is I am not allowed to play it without them now because I played it for like an hour one night and then we booted it up and they were like, wait, why are you in a different world? And I said, well, hey, I beat the one before, and they were extremely mad. So I can't play it without them, which is annoying, but also it's a perfect game for that. All you're doing is breaking stuff. It's very easy. And you're just exploring. It's got a very fun attitude. The kids love all the different worlds because they've got such a cool, creative combination of different aesthetics to them that just feel very fresh. And it doesn't feel like a zone that you've seen in a video game before, at least for a lot of them.
That's true.
We just hit level 400. Which it seems like what they're doing is you get a big destruction world and then sort of a palette cleanser world and then a big destruction world. And then now we're in that next palette cleanser world.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's a game we're going to end up chipping away because I can only play it with them. So we only play it a couple hours a week. But I think it is super fun. I'm enjoying it more than it sounds like you guys did because you both bounced off of it relatively early, right?
Yeah, I played 2 hours.
Yeah. I think the camera is terrible and it feels like it's going to fall apart at times. I know it won't because it's a Nintendo game. It's exceptionally well made, but it feels like I'm stretching the seams of what is possible by destruction. And sometimes that's super fun because you can like avoid a puzzle by just digging through the floor and getting the banana instead. That's
so
great.
I want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So someone who also liked Odyssey, I felt in Odyssey I earned every one of my moons by like figuring out a puzzle or like finding a hidden secret or thing. I don't feel anything getting a banana like I felt in Odyssey. And that was part of the reason I fell off, was just I didn't feel like I was doing what maybe was the right way of getting a banana. And it just... I
agree. I do not feel anything when I get a banana. And that's also because the upgrades are totally pointless.
Sure.
Like that, because you get, a perk point for each banana, or like 5 bananas, and then get you a perk point. And that perk point is like, you have to hold the left and right trigger for half a second less in order to transform into Bonanza mode. And I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, the bananas aren't for story progression either. Like, you're not forced to get them. And so I'll see one in the distance and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to continue. But where I do disagree, though, Cody, is I didn't feel anything when I got a moon in Odyssey either, because there were so many moons that didn't require anything. Like, you would do a spin attack when surrounded by flowers and it would give you a moon.
That's fair,
or you would beat a boss and it would give you a moon. Or you would do a crazy 2D platforming section and it would give you a moon. Or you would flip over a shell on the beach and it would give you a moon. Or
but
you would
I guess the
buy
difference is
a moon.
at least you're doing something there, where like I'll just like be destroying things and be like, oh, okay, there's a moon there. And like
yeah. I think that with the bananas, there are times where there is that sense of discovery where like, oh, I found a hidden little compartment in here, or oh, there's, I got the little rock guys who are adorable, by the way, the little blue rock guys. And they're like, hey, there are 4 of us down here. Find all of us and we'll give you a banana. And like, that's fun to go find them.
Sure.
The reward isn't who cares. It's but the activity. And like, I think a lot of the platforming side levels are fun. The combat ones are pretty throwaway. But I think that a lot of the side levels that you can get into that are more platforming oriented are pretty inventive and find good ways of using the destruction mechanics. So yeah, I'm having a super good time with it. It's not blowing me away the way I've seen with other people. I've also seen those people say the back half of the game is when shit gets absolutely crazy. So we'll see. We're going to finish it. It might take us 6 months, but we are going to finish it.
Nice.
The biggest reason it's taking us so long to play is because we have gone hard on Pokemon Sword. My kids are obsessed with Pokemon. I don't remember, like, they always liked watching me play because I'm always playing a Pokemon game. I was emulating stuff on Steam Deck. I played Pokemon years ago when Sword came out, or Violet when it came out. My kids would like to sit and watch me play, but something happened where everything is Pokemon now. They love watching the show. They watch the different shows. I don't want them to watch Indigo League without me because I want the nostalgia. So instead they'll watch like the more recent ones when I'm not around because they want to watch Pokemon. Every fucking game that they play with their toys is Pokemon. Everything in the house is a Pokemon. That's all they want to do. They build, so they've got, people without kids aren't going to know, but they're called magnetiles, which are basically just like construction blocks that are magnetized. And you can build houses, roads, whatever. They build Pokeballs out of them, but there aren't circular ones. And so their Pokeballs are like pyramids because they use the triangle ones, and they'll put their little Paw Patrol figure or a little like rabbit doll inside of it. And they're like, I made a red one. So Dad, this is my fire Pokeball with my fire bunny inside that I made. What's the name of the fire bunny from that game? Like, that's the happiest I've ever been in my entire life.
That's fantastic.
They are more obsessed with Pokemon now than I ever was as a kid. It's crazy. So we play a fuck ton of Pokemon Sword. I'm intentionally going as slow as I can in that game because of how much they love it.
Yeah.
When I played through Pokemon Sword, because that has the mandatory experience share, which is not a mechanic I enjoy. I was just picking at you, Kyle. It's not something I'm trying to defend. But when I played through that game, it was a bummer because your guys get overpowered so fast because they're constantly leveling up.
You don't get to learn anything about them.
Yeah, like you don't need to do anything because you just have your one Pokemon that can beat everything and everybody else levels up. So when I played, I finally came in. I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna have a party of 6. I'm gonna have a party of 24, and I'm gonna rotate through, and that'll be how I keep the things engaging. Now I have a party of 72. It's 2 full pages of Pokemon that I am keeping leveled up the entire time. So I have 72 Pokemon that are now level 48. I'm leveling up a number of other ones. I meant to check before we started recording. I have evolved every single Pokemon that I have, except for like 3 or 4 that we have left. We have well over 200 in our decks, and we have 6 badges. So yeah, I'm taking my fucking time playing it because of how much my kids love it. And after we finish this one, we're going to go play Pokemon Violet. And I don't want to do that because that game is dog shit. But I'm going to do it because the kids are going to fucking love it. So yeah, our progress in DK Bonanza is slowed because the kids want to play Pokemon.
Fun fact about Pokemon Sword is that is the one and only game I have gotten the full decks in.
Interesting. How many Pokemon are there in that?
I don't know. That's
like over 500, right? That's the most frustrating things for the kids, because when I catch a Pokemon, they want to know what it evolves into. They want me to pull up the Pokédex and show them on my phone, like the Pokemon database, show them what it evolves into. They want to have a plan of when it evolves. If it uses a stone, they want to know what moves does it need to learn before we make it evolve, like all that stuff. When I catch a Pokemon and they're like, what does it evolve into? And I'm like, this one doesn't evolve. They fucking hate that Pokemon. They're like, get that out of here. If it doesn't evolve, I do not want it. And there are so many that evolve via trading too. They hate that shit. And so do I. I hate that shit.
They are right.
So I'm like, I'm sorry. This one doesn't evolve in this game because we have to trade it and we can't trade it. And they're like, why can't you trade it, man? I'm like, because I don't have anybody else. We need someone else that is also playing this game. I can't just trade it. And they're like, fucking figure it out, Dad. Like, I want to see
honestly
what Duskull evolves into.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong. And I love it, but it is reaffirming all of the frustrations that I have with that series.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like, look, that game's not amazing, but I'm an apologist for Pokemon Sword, because it has so many good Pokemon in it from the different generations. It's easy to come. It's even when I was using 24 dudes, it was hard to trim because there are so many cool Pokemon in there. So now I'm just like, if I like the Pokemon, I'm going to use them. I don't care. I'll have 10 grass types that I have in my rotation. I don't give a shit. So yeah,
okay.
Pokemon Sword, good time.
That's crazy, man.
All right. Our last game to talk about.
Whew.
We always have to end our playlist segment by talking about the only video game series worse than Pokemon over the years. Kingdom Hearts.
Hell yeah. So yeah, just as a quick aside, before I jump into Kingdom Hearts, after I beat Birth by Sleep, which I talked about on last podcast, I needed a break. So I was looking at other platinums that I could go ahead and wrap up. I was like 15 trophies away from getting the Demon Souls remake platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went ahead and did that. And that game's really good. I just wanted to throw that out there. So then when I was done with that, I jumped into Dream Drop Distance, which is the 3DS game. I had never played it before. I skipped every cutscene in it because the story's bullshit and who the fuck cares about any of whatever it's happening. It doesn't matter. That platinum wasn't too bad.
Is this one the rhythm game?
No.
Okay.
This is like the Pokemon Kingdom Hearts game where there's little what do they call it? Whatever, pinata looking creatures that you can create.
Oh yeah, the Dream
fight
Eaters.
each other. The Dream Eaters, yes. It was fine. It was fine. It was a pretty easy for, comparatively easy platinum.
It was no Birth by Sleep.
No. It was a breeze coming off of Birth by Sleep.
Yeah. It was still very time consuming though. Like having
for sure.
Having to get all the different
grinding.
kinds of dream eaters and all the shit you had to do to get those, all the synthesis and stuff.
Yes, that was not great. But it got through it, and that one's out of the way. So then it left good old Melody of Memory, which honestly, before doing this, I don't know if you were to ask me to name the Kingdom Hearts games, I don't know that I would have even known this one existed.
Yeah, I also would have forgotten.
So it came, released on the PlayStation 4. It is a rhythm game. It is sort of like the new Rift of the Necro Dancer, the sequel, where it's sort of your three characters are running on sort of a music clef, and enemies are coming down at you, and you attack them. I actually kind of like this game for a couple reasons. One, Kingdom Hearts music is very good.
It's very good.
And there's a lot of it. There's over 150 songs in this.
That surprised me.
Yeah. It's the music of every one of the games. So even in 358 over 2, Recoded, Birth by Sleep, it has the soundtracks for all of those in there. So that's a big part of it. Sort of compounding on that is because I know the songs, it makes the game inherently easier, because on the harder difficulties, you're pretty much hitting every note of the song. So if you know the song, you know what's coming up, it makes that easier, especially when there's a lot of the quicker notes. Another aspect of that I like is that there's just sort of like X, R1 and L1 all do the same thing. They all just swipe at the current enemy that's in front of you. You don't have to do, like, if an enemy's on the right track, you don't have to hit R1 or L1 if they're on the left track. You can hit any of the buttons to attack whatever the needed enemy is at that point. Okay. Which is nice. So like when notes do come in really quickly and I might not be ready for it, it's nice to just be able to use any one of those buttons to hit the note. And I don't have to think like, oh, this guy's on the right, I got to hit R1. And
right.
It's nice to just be able to hit whatever I need to. There are triangle notes that you do have to hit every once in a while, and there are some that are like 2 at the same time. You can hit any combination of 2 buttons, L1, R1, or X, to hit those.
Interesting.
And there are also groups of 3 where you have to hit all 3 of those buttons at the same time. Again, honestly, as a game, I think it's actually really good. So the story of it's Kairi sort of refreshing the story of each game. Okay. As you play through. So every now and then, after you do a boss stage, you'll get a cutscene of Kairi describing the events of the game with the cutscenes of that game and what she's describing happening in the background. And it goes through all the games. So, I mean, it's honestly a pretty good refresher for all the story beats leading into Kingdom Hearts 4. This is canonically the latest game in the story.
I see.
It even has like the Kingdom Hearts 0.2 whatever, where Aqua's stuck in the dark realm or whatever the hell that, which
so
was
it's after Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, it has all the Kingdom Hearts 3 music and everything. Yeah. So I'll say where this is a bummer is not in the game itself, but in the platinum hunt for it.
As usual, the Kingdom Hearts platinums continue to be bullshit.
I have to beat every song on every difficulty, which means if there's 150 plus songs, I mean, you can do the math. There's
450.
A lot. And that's minimum. Right. So on top of that, for every difficulty, I have to perfect 50 songs on every difficulty. So, I mean, if I don't do that on the initial playthrough of the song, then I'm going to have to go back and do, 150 more songs. to get those trophies. Those are pretty much the only ones I have left. I've just been working on that. I every day I go in and I play probably 10 songs, and I'm either trying to hit that play every song quota or trying to hit that perfect ones. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. And then hopefully by next podcast, I'll be done with Kingdom Hearts, which would be pretty cool. I'll have the platinum in every platinumable Kingdom Hearts game, which is, I like that. So
that would be nice, and then you never have to play a Kingdom Hearts again.
Yeah. The funny thing is, each one of these platinum trophies for a Kingdom Hearts game has made me never want to play that Kingdom Hearts game again.
They ruined
this one is sort of like I almost never want to hear this music again, which is a bummer.
Yeah,
well, I was gonna say, you're enjoying the game, but you have to play it so much. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna enjoy it by the time you're done.
Right.
Totally.
And that's what a platinum trophy should be about. It should ruin the game for you forever.
That's definitely their ethos.
On that note, though, anything trophy related with difficulty, doing it on the highest difficulty should count for the lower difficulties.
Always.
Yes.
That should always be the case. So insane that this is not structured in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts. That's my Kingdom Hearts update.
God bless you.
Can't wait to get the last one next month. And then I don't know what we're going to do. How are we going to end this segment?
Knows? Yeah, who knows?
Your next bullshit platinum journey.
I got to get back to Sonic so we can do Sonic updates.
Right, yeah. Well, that's our playlist. 2.5 hours worth of everything we have been playing. That's a doozy. A lot of big games. We're doing the work, y'all. All right, we're playing games that we can talk about them for you. We are heroes, and we sacrifice daily.
I wish that was the reason I was playing Kingdom Hearts.
Right. Well, cool. Let's move on to our critical hits. Maybe brief critical hits. First, we wanted to talk about why is everything so expensive? Kyle, why is everything so expensive, man?
I have a tiny insertion.
Great. Let's make it even longer.
I'm gonna phrase that differently next time, perhaps. I have a small thing I'd like to. So this is Kyle. Welcome to Kyle's Print Media Monthly Update. So last month I talked about Bitmap Books' 50 indie games that changed the world. This month I've gotten 2 books from Lost in Cult. The first of which is Joysticks to Haptics, and this is a visual history of video game controllers. So it's a bunch of images of various controllers throughout the years. There's
our next tier list video.
That's right. There's
best video game controllers.
Some design documents and information about the creation and inspiration of them, how they were used, how they were received. It's a very, very cool book. So that's available at Lost in Cult, Joysticks to Haptics. The other book I got is Make Us Whole, The History of Dead Space. This is also available on Lost in Cult. Awesome cover with a little Ishimura on the front. This is just, I haven't read it, but it's like the inspiration behind Dead Space, how the process of creating it. And I'm hoping some information on how EA fucked it with 3, and maybe a little bit about how they managed to bring it back with the remake and how good that remake was. So 2 more books about video games that I'm about to be done with the 50 indie games one, so I'll start one of these this month, and then maybe I'll touch base on if I like them or not next month. And then if
you're interested, check out our affiliate links in the description below. No, not really. I wish. Someday.
Yeah. And then I wanted to show this off because I worked hard on it and it was a lot of fun to make. But I made a new leather case for my Anbernic SP, and it is a leather case, and it's got this cute little Pikachu with a Pokeball patch on it that I ordered off Etsy. And then use some invisible nylon thread to stitch it onto the leather, and it just opens with a little snap. And I've got a charger. I've got my Anbernic with my cute little surfing Pikachu on the back of it. And there's This can be, threaded through a belt or a loop or whatever for whatever bag you're carrying. And then there's a little spot here for a keychain. And tomorrow I'm getting my Surfing Pikachu keychain that I'm going to put on this. So, very excited for that. I'm an adult 33-year-old man. And
well, now I don't know which one of you two is cooler.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's fucking go.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Let's go.
I think it's pretty obvious.
It is. Hey, write an email. Which one of us is cooler? Shay?
PartySelectPod@gmail.com.
Tell us if you liked Kyle's little insertion.
Tell us, please, God.
That'll be the new segment. Kyle's weekly small insertion.
I love it.
Whatever you want, man.
That feels bad. That feels bad. Is what they said after Kyle's small insertion.
Hey, at least they can feel it,
At
Could
least.
be worse.
Yep. All right. So back to the regularly scheduled programming. Hey, these prices keep going up. How come?
These prices keep going up.
How come? So this is across the board. Every major console manufacturer, the big three, have increased their prices for their hardware and in some cases their services. And let's get into some of the numbers here. So PS5 had price increases. They had a price increase earlier this year, but they have since raised the pricing again. So regular PS5 is now $550, up from $500, so a $50 increase. PlayStation 5 Digital Edition is now $500, up from $450, so also a $50 increase. And a PS5 Pro is $750, up from $700, so $50 price increase. So across the board,
granted, only $50 there, but I am glad I got my Pro when I did.
Well, and here's the other thing.
Prices went up.
So the Digital Edition, with the terabyte of storage, is actually losing 200 gigs of storage. So it's no longer going to be a terabyte of storage at $500. It's 825 gigs of storage at $500. So that is now definitely the worst deal of the bunch. They're all a bad deal. They are all more than you should be paying for a video game console, quite frankly. Don't go buy hardware right now, because eventually this shit will crash back down. So just don't buy it right now. Live vicariously through us and the games that we're talking about. So that's PlayStation. That's what Sony's been doing. Nintendo, Switch 1s became more expensive in Canada for reasons.
Tariffs, I think, right? Didn't they say that?
I think it was tariff
something
related.
about
Yeah. But yeah, so the original Switch hardware became more expensive in Canada. And then Microsoft has been fucking unhinged lately. So the Xbox Series S, the lower end spec, the 512 gig, is now $380. It was $300. It has gone up by $80. The 1 terabyte Series S is now $430, was $350, so also $80 increase. The Xbox Series X, the higher
70.
end spec, sorry.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's
Never
still
mind.
80.
Edit this out.
Nope. I want to get those
And
I want the cooler
That,
emails to come
ladies
in.
and gentlemen, was Shay's little insertion.
Little insert. Xbox Series X digital version is $550, was $450. That's $100 difference. The Xbox Series X with a disc drive is now $600, was $500, $100 difference. And the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Black, their highest spec version you can get, highest storage amount, $730, and it was $600. That's a $130 increase. They have also increased the prices of various controllers and accessories, and they were
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before you move on to the other stuff, it's worth mentioning the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Black is $20 cheaper than going out to buy a PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Granted, you get far more storage, but it is the base Xbox Series X versus the PS5 Pro, which is the new, more powerful version of the console.
Yeah,
that to me is insane.
Well, the Series
Not
X,
that anyone should buy either of them.
the Series X is the more powerful version of the Xbox.
Between those two, but it's still the
But
launch version of that console.
Correct. Yeah. The Pro is also a more powerful machine than the Series X.
Yes.
It just is. But yeah. So that, like, yes. Prices are going crazy. Like I said, controllers, accessories also raising in price. The Xbox is also partnering with ROG for their handheld, the ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. Those prices have now been released. The Xbox Ally is going to be $500, and the Xbox Ally X, the high performance model, is going to be a cool $1,000, double the price of the base version.
There's just
no one will buy this.
Successful.
And
Like
just this week. Yeah, go ahead.
at a base level, like $500 for the entry level version of that is not crazy. That's cheaper
more
than
than
a
a Steam
regular ROG Ally. It is more than a Steam Deck, but it's got more capability and it's supposed to be more user friendly and should be more powerful than the Steam Deck also, because the ROG Ally is more powerful than the Steam Deck. So that I don't think is that wild, but the storage space is extremely limited. Like, the premium version isn't like a PS5 Pro. Like, to me, the premium version of this is the version that anyone should buy.
Yeah.
It's the
And
one
no
you-
one
yes.
should buy it for $1,000 fucking dollars.
No way.
That's crazy.
So part of me wonders if that 500 one is priced such so that they're like, well, at least some people might buy it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I mean, less savvy consumers, I guess. Additionally, this week, Xbox has announced that they are raising their Game Pass pricing. So, Ultimate is going from $20 to $30, a full 50% price increase. And the premium tier is going from $12 to $16, which is a 33% increase. I have canceled Game Pass. So has Kara also had Game Pass. So we have both canceled Game Pass.
Entirely?
Entirely. Yeah. I have not played a Game Pass game since I played Grounded 2 for one session one night, and it ran like shit on my computer. There's just no utility in it for me. I would rather just buy the games and play them on my PlayStation.
Yes. Yep.
I have used Game Pass for day one first party releases,
Which are no longer coming to Game Pass.
The current tier that I'm on, which is Ultimate. So if I was willing to pay the extra $10 a month, I would continue to get those. But just like how I use Game Pass is for the day one first party stuff, and for current third party releases, sometimes which are day one, like Silksong, sometimes they are like a month after, like The Alters or Sleeper Citizen 2. Like, I have played those games on Xbox because I can play them as part of my subscription rather than going and paying for them. A game like Sleeper Citizen 2, I played the first game on PlayStation. I would have totally bought that game on PlayStation regardless. The Alters, I wouldn't have bought. It was a maybe game.
Yeah.
Maybe games never get played for me because I don't have time for maybes. I only have time for definite yeses. But I play The Alters because it was on Game Pass, and it's one of my favorite games of the year. That's great. I got my value from it. I will not pay $30 a month for that use case.
Right.
For someone that only plays games on Xbox and doesn't play new games, it's still a fine value because it includes the EA stuff. It includes the Ubisoft Classics, which is like a year or two after their games come out, they put it on that service. So like, if you haven't played AC Shadows yet, you can go play it on Ubisoft thing. If you haven't played AC Odyssey or Far Cry 6 or whatever, you can go use it for that. But for people like us, we play the shit when it comes out that we want to play. And especially for people like us where you want to buy it on PC or I want to buy it on PlayStation, I'm not defaulting to Xbox. There is no use case where $30 a month is worth that value proposition. That's $360 a year. No, it's not. It's more than that. How much is it? 400?
360.
Yeah, 360.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm struggling with math apparently today. $360 a year is a crazy amount to pay.
I think Jeff
for
Gerstmann had like
games.
a Blue Sky post today that was like Xbox $360 a year, which is a good Blue Sky post.
Yeah. So my plan, like, I'm keeping Ultimate because I want to play Outer Worlds 2. And so I might as well pay $30 for a month to play Outer Worlds 2 when I would have spent $60, $70, whatever it is on Outer Worlds 2. And then I'm going to go to the premium tier and then see how much I play over the next couple of months. Because I'm not paying $30 a month. And the premium tier doesn't seem worth it because you don't get the day one games. But their whole like, oh, first party stuff will release within a year on the premium tier. I want to give it a couple of months and like see what that's like, what kind of stuff hits the service. If they lock other things behind the Ultimate tier, like Silksong, would that only be a day one on Ultimate? Or would I also get a day one on Premium? Like, I want to see what that looks like. And then, I might cancel Game Pass. And then my Xbox will never get turned on again if I cancel Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's insane, man.
It is.
Because if there are first-party games that I definitely want to play, which there rarely are, I will now be able to buy them on PS5.
Right.
So who cares?
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And, like, if there's a first-party game you want to play, that if you don't care about the ownership of it, you know you'll be able to beat it within a month, you can just do 1 month.
Yeah.
Pay $30 and play that game day one.
Yep.
Except for Call of Duty.
That is going to be on Ultimate.
Yeah, just
Call of Duty 7
not
will
on
be on
premium.
Ultimate.
Because premium's like, the new
that's
games
so stupid.
new games will come to premium a year after they release day one. Except for Call of Duty. Call of Duty will just never come to premium.
I don't get, I mean, just based on that, again, like you say, Shay, who we'll see, how it goes, but I don't understand why even offer that tier. Who is that for?
People that want to play backlog.
I guess.
Yeah, again, it's for a more casual person that's not buying stuff when it comes out. But yeah, you have to think manipulatively, which is how they think. They don't want you to buy the premium tier.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah.
They want the value to be in the Ultimate tier. So of course, the premium tier doesn't seem like that good of a deal because it isn't by design. They want you to pay for Ultimate.
Yeah.
So I want to see what it looks like because I do play those like mid-tier games on Game Pass. That is what I use Game Pass for. Cody, you said this in the Discord chat. Like the Game Pass account cancellation page crashed.
Yes,
After they announced this
I was
because
trying
so
to cancel
many
Game
people
Pass
were
for
trying to
45
cancel.
minutes. Yeah.
What are you
45
doing,
minutes.
Microsoft? Bunch of morons. Just looking at spreadsheets and not the real world, man. But it doesn't matter, dude. They make billions of dollars in profit every quarter. It doesn't matter if they make a good decision or not.
Yeah.
It will still work. They will still be profitable.
Yeah.
And then they will still lay off 10,000 employees after being profitable.
Yeah.
Also, for what it's worth, the highest tier of PlayStation Plus, which doesn't have the same benefits, obviously. They have a library.
They don't do all the
games,
day one stuff or either.
is like $120, I think, for the year. Where this is $360.
Yeah.
More than double the price. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I downgraded from the top tier of PlayStation to the middle tier. I was paying for the top tier because that's where the game streaming was, like streaming old games.
Right.
Because like I wanted to play the old Ratchet and Clanks and stuff with my kids. Joke's on me, that shit's unplayable.
That service is ass.
It doesn't fucking run.
Yeah.
So I downgraded and I'm paying for the middle tier, which to me is worth it because there are day one stuff like Sword of the Sea was a day one thing on PlayStation Plus. Rogue Prince of Persia was on the premium. Like there are a bunch of games that, again, maybe games.
Yeah.
And that's perfect for me. but it's way cheaper than what
Yeah.
Microsoft is doing.
Yep. For
The
now.
value of Microsoft was I got all their first-party stuff for free as part of the service.
Yeah.
100%.
And
And
right
if
now,
I'm not going to get that, like,
right now you can get a superior performing console with a better value online service for almost the same price as the best Xbox you can get. Not to have it be like Sony versus Microsoft, but like they are
that
they
battle's
are
far,
they
far
are
long
all
gone.
fucking us over majorly as consumers. Nobody is the hero. Like none of them are the hero. None of them are the winners. Like we are all just the losers.
yeah, they are all the winners.
Yeah, but there is a better ecosystem choice if you are into gaming. Also want to point out that I'm drinking Gatorade Zero because I need to get some electrolytes back from all this talking about video games. It's hard work.
Good to know.
I'm sweating about these prices. Need to
So
get that
yeah,
salt
shit's
content back.
busted. I guess the only thing is like, do not buy a console right now.
No.
It's good that you just bought the Switch too.
Well, yeah. So the Switch 2 has not gone up
honestly.
in price
Yeah.
yet.
Right. It will.
So
Yeah,
well, maybe
probably.
it won't. But yeah,
no, they're just raising the
it's-
price of their accessories and games.
Yeah, I think I
They're
texted
$80
you guys
games.
like the next day. I was like, yeah, I already regret buying this. And it's I don't actually, but
No.
it's I will only play first party Nintendo games on it. And so at the end of the day, like, is that value prop actually there? Like, I'm paying $70, $80
yeah.
for the first party games plus a $500 console.
So like for me, there were a lot of Switch games that I just didn't play because my Switch performance was ass on most of those games
Fair.
that I want to try and play. I can just pop those cards into my Switch 2 now and play them, and they'll just have like it'll just run those games well.
Pokemon Sword runs
that's
great.
huge.
The
Yeah, I bet.
wild
I
area, it runs totally fine.
Yeah.
No frame rate issues at all.
And
Game
Violet,
still
and
looks like
Violet should
ass.
run really well on that. It'll still look,
Yeah.
Also, yes, will look like
It's still
ass.
ugly,
Yeah, she ugly,
but it'll be playable.
Yeah. But yeah. So you know what? Maybe if you're
It's
gonna
so
buy hardware right
frustrating,
now,
man.
it should maybe be the Switch.
Or a Steam Deck. Go buy a
Or-
Steam Deck OLED.
So Steam Deck LCDs were on sale new, not refurbed, were on sale for $320. So maybe go
I think
get a
they're on
fucking
sale
Steam
through the
Deck.
6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's through the 6th.
So go get a Steam Deck.
That's an
When
amazing
does this
deal.
go up? This goes up on the 6th. Boy, I hope you're listening to it first thing in the morning.
Well, yeah, hopefully you had 3 hours first thing in the morning to get to this point of the podcast. But like the added benefit of the Steam Deck is the Steam sales, man.
Yes.
Like no other Nintendo never discounts their shit. Sony and Microsoft have deals all the time for discounts for things, but they're usually going to be discounts for the big AAA stuff that are already premium priced that, you get 20% off of the $70 game that came out 2 years ago. Whoop-de-woo. Or you can wait for the Steam summer sale and buy it for $10 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
The Steam sale model is an infinite, amazing value add for being part of the PC ecosystem compared to console ecosystem.
And
Like,
I
just-
mean, with the Steam Deck, there's the dual boot stuff where like you can boot into Linux and you can add all your emulator stuff through there if you want.
Yeah, if you're
do
smart.
that
I'm not even
stuff.
talking about people that are smart. I'm talking about
There are-
normal gamer
There are guides for all that
console
stuff
gamers.
too. Like people have made it
Look, I know.
super easy to do. Like even easier than
I
when you and
figured
did
it out.
Shay. Like it's
Yeah,
even easier.
but like the
now.
the fact that I figured it out proves
Yeah.
how easy it is. But even if you don't want to do that stuff and you just want a new console,
Just to play Steam
like
games.
straight up, that would be my recommendation. Go buy a Steam Deck.
You can dock it to your TV and use it like a console if you'd rather do that. Hook up a mouse and keyboard to it, Bluetooth, or a controller Bluetooth, whatever you want to do. There are all sorts of options. It is a much more open ecosystem intentionally. That's part of the selling point. So
It's,
they're not
it's a great piece of hardware. The screen looks awesome.
Yeah.
It is funny comparing the Steam Deck to the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. The Switch 2 looks fantastic, but the clarity on because I have the OLED Steam Deck.
Oh, sure.
It's still way better than
An
the Switch
OLED
2.
screen is just incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The Switch 2 screen is huge. I love that. Like, I was comparing that to the Switch 1. It's like, it feels like it's twice as big because it's so much bigger.
Right.
And it looks great. Like, it looks
it does.
really, really nice. But the Steam Deck OLED, mwah.
The colors on an
tiny.
OLED
It's still a big screen, but for a handheld, having it right up against your face, man, it's good shit.
Switch OLED was great too.
Yeah. Anyway, feel like the discussion on this is shit is fucked. Don't buy a console. Cancel your streaming services, or at least double check what you're paying for and make an informed decision. Because when they make these changes, they are counting on X% of customers not paying attention and waiting for a couple of months and then remembering so that they squeeze that extra $40 out of 100,000 of us. Again, you have to think insidiously the way that these corporate assholes do.
Yep.
Is this more corporate assholeism, Cody? This Rock Band 4 news?
Yeah, I don't know. So this article came from Chris Gillian at VGC. I just going to read this little blurb here. Rock Band 4 is officially being delisted from the PlayStation and Xbox digital stores this weekend, as the original song licenses for the core soundtrack are expiring after 10 years. So they had a solid 10 years of living up there. According to the community manager Kyle Wynn, on Sunday, October 5th, Rock Band 4 turns 10. The original licenses for the core soundtrack are expiring. Because of that, Rock Band 4 will be removed from the PlayStation and Xbox digital stores. This article goes on to say, now don't panic if you already own the game. Harmonix says you won't lose any access. You'll still be able to re-download any purchased songs and content to your devices. When also added, if you've been meaning to grab the last few songs, now's the time. But the delisting doesn't stop with just the base game. As those 10-year licenses windows run out, DLC tracks will gradually vanish from the storefront as well. Out of the 748 released songs, 22 from the launch day batch are among the first to disappear. So this is my way to spin this story into a positive and an advertisement. You should check out Clone Hero on PC. If you are a fan of these games, Rock Band and Guitar Hero might be disappearing from the storefronts, but Clone Hero is a community-driven and doesn't rely on any expiring licenses. So it'll allow you to preserve your game library forever. There's a lot of great resources out there that have downloads for all the songs from all the games, plus a lot of community-created tracks based on... pretty much you can search any of your favorite songs, Clone Hero, into Google, and you'll find a download to be able to play that.
There's another option as well called Yarg, which is yet another rhythm game. I think it's like people who are like big sickos about it say Yarg is better for some reasons that I don't quite understand. But yeah, I've been doing Clone Hero as well. I've just been playing alphabetically through all the songs. I have like 2,000 songs. I'm in the A's still, but I'll load it up every now and then and play like 10 songs.
That's fun.
And work my way through it.
We're going to have to get
It's
your
fantastic.
tier list.
Oh, of my 2,000 songs tier list? Fuck.
Make sure you got a notebook as you're going through.
Boy.
That is a bummer, though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're interested in Guitar Hero or Rock Band, go ahead and buy it now.
Yeah, the intersection of music, copyright, and licenses and video games continues to be fucking bad.
Yeah, I mean that's how music licensing has always been. I mean it's been a problem in movies for decades and decades and decades. That's why when you go watch stuff on syndication, a lot of times the tracks are different because the license expired, etc. It's such bullshit.
It's why we don't have Monster and Death Stranding anymore.
Yeah,
I saw a thing about that.
Damn it.
It's such. I wonder how, Monster didn't feel like they got their money's worth on that partnership. I wonder how they measured success of that brand.
Yeah,
mystifying.
That would be hard to measure.
Well, all right. Final critical hit. This is more of a catch-all just because, Gamescom happened, TGS happened, there was a Sony State of Play, there was a Nintendo Direct. Sort of a, here's the big shit. If you weren't paying attention to any or all of those, these are the big things that happened. I'm realizing we didn't call out. Microsoft did a presser at TGS where they announced new Forza. I think that's kind of it. It was mostly like third party. It was mostly like third party, mostly Asian oriented games because that's where it was happening. But I think Forza was the big announcement there. And they didn't really show like anything of it. So who knows? But Gamescom. How do we want to do this? We didn't talk about this. I don't want to just like list these and then we talk about them. So feel free to jump in. But they showed more of Black Ops 7, actual gameplay. I think they had like people come out on stage and talk about it too. I probably skipped that part.
Me too. But they showed some story stuff. And it seems like they're doing a lot more of the, like, towards the end of Black Ops 6, where it's, like, a lot of, like, crazy psychological stuff going on. It seems like there's more of that happening, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm into the idea of this. Like, I do
that's
not
right.
give
and
a
the
shit
last
about...
mission, the last mission is
like a multiplayer
Yeah, it's
thing.
like, a multiplayer...
Oh, right.
Kind of final mission thing, which sounds interesting.
Interesting, yep. Yeah, I mean, I really liked Black Ops 6 campaign. You could not pay me money to go play the multiplayer.
Right.
And I feel very much the same about Black Ops 7. It sounds like I might not have Game Pass Ultimate when this comes out. So I might not play Black Ops 7. Who knows?
Yeah, I might end up buying it. I don't know.
There's no way I'm buying it. Absolutely zero chance.
Depends on how bored I am.
It just depends on if I still have Ultimate or not. It comes out in November, right?
Yeah. There's not a lot in November, December area, so maybe I'll buy it in like December or something when I'm
the
bored.
14th. You know what? I'll still have Ultimate because I'll be playing Outer Worlds too, so I'll end up playing it.
Yeah.
Hooray! We'll be talking about Black Ops 7 on the podcast. Look forward to that. Silksong. It's out.
It's out now.
They said that it's coming out, and now it's out.
Good for them.
It's been out.
It's been out. Yeah.
Apparently, it's good.
People like
for like a week. It had a 100 on OpenCritic.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
What's
it at now? It's 92. Peasant mode.
How far we've fallen. A little bit of humble pie, Silksong.
Woohoo, Silksong.
Yeah.
Not again. This is not the podcast for Hollow Knight Silksong.
No, it's not.
No.
I'm very happy for everybody. Legitimately,
totally.
I'm very happy for everybody.
It's got
and
good
I'm glad
art.
it's good. This is not the podcast.
No.
Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight.
I included this
looks
on here.
kind of fun.
I think it's cool.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
it's like the Skywalker Saga equivalent of the Batman games.
Yes. I don't like they're doing a lot of stuff from The Batman, which I think is a bad film. But they're also working in some Dark Knight stuff as well.
Hell yeah.
So that's fun.
This was one of the highlights of the Gamescom show for me personally.
Okay.
Which speaks more to the Gamescom show than it does to...
Okay. All right, well, fair. That's fair.
But yeah. What else we got on here? Oh, Fallout Season 2. Are we hyped about Fallout Season 2?
I didn't care about Fallout Season 1, so...
Did you watch it?
I watched the first couple episodes.
Okay.
I'm not a big Fallout person to begin with, though, so...
Kyle, you liked it, right?
Yeah, I thought Fallout was really good. It was way better than I expected it to be.
I agree with that.
7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I liked it. I will watch Season 2.
Nice.
That's the level of excitement that I have.
Well, we know they're going to New Vegas, and they teased that Mr. House is going to be in it and all that other stuff.
Yes.
But, like, Mr. House when he's alive. That's cool.
Yes, I like that. Lords of the Fallen 2.
Yeah, sure.
That first one, well, that second first one wasn't very good.
Did they make the Lords of the Fallen 2 original?
No.
No.
This is the third.
It was just Lords of the Fallen, and then Lords of the Fallen, and now
Right.
Lords of the Fallen 2.
Yes.
Lords of the Fallen 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Or would it be Lords of the Fallen 3,
Fallen
2?
3.
No, it would be
Yes.
Lords of the Fallen, quote, 2024 2.
Oh God, you're right. That's way worse.
That's way worse,
hate that
right?
so much.
Way worse. Look,
That's good.
it's their fault. So
And then they showed more gameplay of At Fate's End, which is the new game from Thunder Lotus, makers of Spiritfarer. This was the highlight of the show for me.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking hype.
get ready to be destroyed.
Spiritfarer, yeah, dude. Spiritfarer is one of. I mean, well, the thing, like, Spiritfarer is one of my favorite games ever made. This is like an actual action game.
Yeah, it seems like there's more game in it.
Yeah. So I'm really interested to see how that plays out.
Sure.
Hopefully well. But yeah, the art is just
Yeah,
so fucking awesome.
that team is really good at art.
Yes. Yeah, that was Gamescom. Is that everything?
It's fine.
It's not a lot,
enough.
man.
It's enough.
Yeah. There was a lot at the Nintendo Direct. Some remakes. They're doing Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 packaged up.
Yeah, that's
that excite
available
you?
now.
Does that
It
excite
is
you?
available now. It does not.
Okay.
I don't need to replay those.
Okay.
So
those
I
games are
will
great.
say, like, in terms of availability, this is good
Yes.
because Mario 3D All-Stars had something Sunshine
64 Sunshine.
64
and-
Sunshine in the first
Galaxy
Galaxy, but they have not had like a new available way to play Galaxy 2. So, and you can buy these packaged together physically or digitally, but you can also buy them separate digitally. They are $40 a piece. So that's their $80 game that they're selling you, which is 2 old games that they didn't really have to do much to.
Yes. Not a fan of that.
That's pretty fucked up.
They are incredible games. Super Mario
Yes.
Galaxy is one of, if not the best 3D platformer ever made. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is also excellent. If you have not played those, you should.
Yeah.
I don't know that you should go
great.
pay $80 for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never played them, like, you're not gonna grab a Wii and play them. I mean, you could.
That is
you're not
true.
gonna. So
It's just the
Yeah.
ethics of mentally.
ethics?
I'm gonna go.
What
I'm gonna
fucking
go
ethics,
spend.
Shay?
I'm saying for like me as a consumer to say like I'm gonna go spend $80 to buy 2 games that came out almost a decade ago. That doesn't feel great.
No.
Like I feel like there's other stuff I should spend that money on. But again, they are incredible games. So it's like whatever. A lot of weird shit in this direct now that I'm looking at this list. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. This is like the new one in the vein of
like Yoshi's Island,
Woolly World, Yoshi's Island, Kirby's Epic Yarn, like the sort of like kooky offbeat versions
I would say
of
it's
these
much
characters.
much more like a sequel or spiritual successor to the original Yoshi's Island. I think there's a lot of like art elements that are the same, and also the simplicity of the gameplay and the target audience, much more like original Yoshi's Island. Because I would say like Woolly World and Crafted World, those are a little like there's a little bit more of a video game there in those. This is much more children oriented.
I can see that. Woolly World is pretty simple, but yeah, I can see that.
Down to the point where, I mean, even the little flower rides on Yoshi's back in this game. I don't know if you remember that, but
Right.
there's a little flower bud that rides on Yoshi's back the whole game.
Yeah.
A la Yoshi's Island.
Right.
It looks cute.
Yoshi and the Mysterious Book.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
cute little like kind of a frame story setup with the
Yeah,
pop-up book
it wasn't doing a ton for me, honestly. Like
Yeah, I mean,
the setup wasn't
sure.
super interesting to me. Also another weird game, Pokemon Pokopia.
Yeah.
I'm
I now
I don't know.
understand why they were so mad about Pal World. I get
Sure.
it now.
Did you see that the Pal World folks are making a game like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called. I think it's called like It's called like Pal World.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It looks way
Something
better
like
than
Pal World.
this, which is just the ultimate fuck
I
you.
agree.
It was the ultimate fuck you. But yeah, this Pokemon
What's that game
Pokopia,
called?
you play as Ditto, who has
Pal World Pal Farm.
Pal Farm, yeah. In Pokopia, you play as a Ditto who has assumed the form of a human, and therefore
Horrifying.
must breed.
Horrifying implications.
Yeah, so it's like it's like an Animal Crossing, like where you're finding other Pokemon in the environment, convincing them to come back to your little farm with you, and having them do little tasks and stuff, a la Pal World, original Pal World. It like cutesy art style, still looks like shit, because they can't make a 3D Pokemon game that doesn't look like shit. But I think like from a game standpoint, this seems like a fun time. This is the kind of shit that I wish they would be doing more of. It's like the Pokepark, the Pokemon Channel, the Hey You Pikachu. Like, I wish they were doing more of that weird genre stuff with Pokemon. And like they have done, like Pokemon Rumble and other stuff like that. Like they've
Rescue
done,
Team.
yeah, Rescue Team. Like I want them to be doing more of that. So that's why I'm happy about this and want to play this and check it out, because just like more ways to engage with Pokemon is a good thing. Especially because the mainline entries have not been hitting it for me lately. So it's like,
Right.
I want a Pokemon game that I do like. is where it comes down to.
The weird offshoot Pokemon games have unfortunately been in a lot of genres that are like not interesting to me at all.
Yeah.
This is like a borderline interest.
Sure.
Because like, I like some Animal Crossing. I like some farm stuff.
I mean, the kids
So,
would
like,
love this one.
Yeah.
And maybe
yeah,
Kelly
but
can play this one with them.
I feel like Kelly would like the gameplay of it. I worry about the gameplay being engaging enough for the kids.
Sure.
But we'll see as they show more of it.
Yeah.
Since they're just like watching and not playing. But yeah. They're bringing back the Virtual Boy.
This was insane. And it's coming to like the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack stuff. But in order to play it, you need to buy one of their Virtual Boy peripherals. One that is literally a Virtual Boy that you slot your Switch into. And
Yes.
two is like a cardboard version. The one you slot the Switch into is $100. And then the cardboard one, I think, is like $30 or something.
Wait. Are you saying that Nintendo created a weird peripheral that they are overcharging their diehard fans for?
I am
No,
saying
they
that.
never do that.
No, I'm saying
The thing that they do 3 or 4 times every single console generation.
They're doing it again. They're back for more, baby.
They
Bing,
can't
bang, boom.
keep getting away with this.
Oh, they will. This is very stupid and kind of awesome.
It looks great. I like how it looks.
The thing that really kills me is I think it is mandatory to have one of these accessories in order to play the Virtual Boy games. That's the part where it's fucking, because all it is like a red 1-bit screen. That's all it is.
And it's
like,
only 4 games, right?
yeah, I think it's only 4 games. But I mean, not that there are that many Virtual Boy games to pull from anyways. Those 4 are probably the only ones that would matter. I'm sure some sicko somewhere cares about another one, but yeah, like you're gonna pay $100 peripheral accessory to play 4 of these
That's what I'm
fine
saying.
games. Like none of them are even all that good. They're fine.
Yeah.
There's like there's a Wario Land game, I think, on there.
This is for the sickos, and that's
Yeah.
fine. They should
That's
be
fine.
able to do their sicko stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should be extorted for a price.
$100 for a piece
like
of plastic.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
For what it's worth, again, the comparison I'm making, these aren't required. But when they've released the controllers for their other virtual machine stuff, like the GameCube controller,
Yeah.
when they added GameCube games, that was $70. So, I mean, those aren't cheap. But $100 is a lot for sure. But I mean, the other controllers are pretty pricey as well. So it's not that surprising.
Oh, I don't think we're arguing that
problem.
it's surprising.
That's fair.
Yeah, surprising.
Thank you,
is not
Cody,
the
for
word.
making our point.
Hey, you know what? That's my little insertion, baby.
Hell yeah.
What else? Oh, we got a release date of now for Hades 2. It wasn't actually now, but it is out now. It is on Steam. It is a console exclusive on Switch 2, which is extremely annoying to me because I would love to play this on PS5. But this is a family share game on Steam, so your boy is going to be playing this pretty soon on my Steam Deck, and I hope it works okay because I'm very excited for this game.
I think it
and I
runs
want it
well
to
on
work
Steam
okay.
Deck. I think Jeff Grubb's been
would
playing on
imagine
Steam Deck, so yeah.
It's perfect for that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very hyped to be checking that out. And then they closed the show with an absolute banger that I don't think any of us give a shit about. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
So Kara's very excited about this because Kara loves the Fire Emblem games. And I believe apparently the character reveal at the end makes people think it's a follow-up to Three Houses, I think is the one.
Yeah.
That's the one Kara really liked, was Three Houses. So they are very excited for this.
Sweet.
They're out there.
Yes, of course they're out there. But they're not talking into these microphones.
That's true.
That's the bit that I was doing.
That's fair.
Yeah, yes. Literally dozens of people were very hyped by that trailer.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is not the podcast for Fire Emblem news. I don't know why I'm being so vitriolic. Like I don't care. I don't have anything against Fire Emblem. It was just like
I don't know either.
being like 100% being selfish. When a showcase closes, you're like, what's the thing? What's the big thing? I want to be so excited by the final thing. Oh, it's Fire Emblem. That doesn't appeal to me personally. This was a bad show. It's that. That's what I was doing.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, it was a fine direct. I think like the Virtual Boy stuff out of left field is a fun story to talk about. It's interesting because like Virtual Boy was such a failure. Nintendo like never talks or acknowledges about the Virtual Boy because of how much of a commercial failure it was. And that's just like very Japanese to not acknowledge past stuff or like have good humor about it. Certainly very Nintendo of things that have failed in the past. They just don't acknowledge them anymore. So for them to bring back the Virtual Boy like in this way is a very stupid and fun thing. And then my big takeaway was just Pokopia for the most part.
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing in and of itself that like a game I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm hyped about Hades 2, but that has nothing to do with Nintendo, really.
Right.
Sony, they had a state of play. They said we knew we were going to get some Saros gameplay, and they opened the show with that. It looks great. I am disappointed with how Returnal it is. Because it's just a sequel to Returnal.
I was going to share a sentiment to that of I was hoping it was going to be more Returnal, but I didn't expect it to just be Returnal.
Right. Like I
wanted like an evolution
Returnal.
of Returnal.
Yeah.
Not just more Returnal.
And to be fair, like
there will
it is.
be in the mechanics.
There's a new shield
yeah,
mechanic.
Sure.
Like there definitely is a lot of new stuff. It's way more fast paced than Returnal was. And I didn't finish Returnal, so I don't know like how it ended. But watching it, I was like, why is this not just Returnal 2? Like, what is it that makes this different? And we don't know the answer to that yet. But it does. I mean, it looks awesome. Like literally, the bullet hell shit in 3D is so good.
Yep.
And it's so fast. It looks really, really nice and very fun and very hard. I can't imagine I'm going to beat this one either. You know, did they say, is this a roguelike? Have they said that?
I think
because that could be.
I think they gave allusions to like starting over and stuff.
Okay. All right. Because I was going to say that could be something that's different. Maybe it isn't, but yeah, I imagine it probably is.
I mean, if it wasn't, I would be
the
more
same
inclined
vein.
to play it. That's for sure.
Yeah, same. Me too. But yeah, it looks very cool. It was a good start to the show.
Yeah.
They announced a couple remasters. Deus Ex is getting a remaster.
Yeah,
Dynasty
I'm
Warriors
concerned about
3
that
is getting a
one.
remaster.
I'm concerned about Deus Ex because that's Aspire, I think, is doing that one, and they're the team that bungled all those Star Wars remasters. So not a lot of. Also, I think what they showed of the updated visuals looks kind of worse than the original graphics. So I'm kind of meh and nervous about that one.
That's fair.
But yeah. Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered is super cool. That's one that I haven't played that much of. I think, Shay, you and I started with 4 mostly.
Yes.
So it'll be cool.
But
to go
3
back
was
and play
like
3.
the one.
Yeah.
3 is, I guess, the one that like really opened it up. So
Right.
I might check it out.
Yeah.
Probably not, but I might. And then they closed the show with Wolverine, which was leaked ahead of time, I believe. How do you guys feel about that? How do you feel about the Wolverine stuff?
I can't care about a superhero game. It's not in me anymore.
I'm thrilled, of course.
Okay,
But
I wasn't blown away by what we saw, and it's just a trailer. I'm not like making judgments on it, but I wasn't super impressed.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's violent.
Mm-hmm.
It is very.
But I
nice.
feel like we just didn't see enough.
We
to
did not
be
see
impressed.
enough. Yeah,
it was just little snippets of in motion things. We didn't get like a true demo of what that game actually looks
the
like.
gameplay stuff that we saw, which you're right, it was seconds at a time, but it seemed pretty corridor oriented, linear oriented, which, that could be totally fine. I guess the fact that I wasn't impressed is a bummer because I'm a big Insomniac fan. Everything they've done in the past like 20 years has been amazing, in my opinion. And so to not be blown away, I was kind of taken aback by that. But you're right. We did not see a lot of it.
Plus, I mean, like what you just said, I know I have a high degree of confidence that game is going to be good. So.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of stuff announced.
Yeah.
Drop in the comments, especially if we missed anything from those shows that you were hyped about. Because obviously, hundreds of games were announced at these different things. I'm sure there's stuff that didn't catch our eye that maybe should. So drop in the comments if there's stuff that you're hyped about that we didn't talk about. Would love to be able to check that out for ourselves and maybe get more hyped. Let's do a Fantasy Critic update. Cody, do you want to lead this? I don't want to put that on you, but I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, sure. So this past month, Shay's roster saw Indiana Jones and the Great Circle come out with only 2 points because
Not great.
it scored a 72.
Yeah.
Not great.
Which isn't ideal. I also had Borderlands 4 and got him 12 points with an 82 score.
That is much better.
That's about what I expected. Low 80s. That's what I wanted. That's what I was looking for. That was part of our like second draft, so I wanted like a safe option.
Then the big bummer, which is Hirogami, scored -6 points as it scored a 64.
That's rough.
Yeah. That's
a real
sucks.
bummer. That game did look very fun.
I was
and
really
it's a
excited
shame.
about it.
Yeah.
I think that's the only game on any of our rosters that has gotten below a 70 on
Yeah.
Open Critic.
We've done so part of it is that like games just don't score that low anymore. But we also we did a pretty good job picking them.
Yeah. On my roster, I had Ghost of Yotei, which got me 17 points with an 87. I had Silk Song. My gamble paid off, which got me 23 points as it had a 92. So conversely, Shay, you had counterpicked that, and so you also lost the 23 points.
Yep.
I also had Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles, which got me 19 points with a score of 89. And then unfortunately, I did have Cairn on my roster, but that just the other day got announced that it is moving to 2026.
Yeah.
So that is my first game that I've drafted that is not coming out this year. And then wrapping up, Kyle's roster had Silent Hill F. Got him 17 points with an 87 score.
Much higher than I would
and
score.
then, well, hey, that benefits you.
Yep.
And then Chronos the New Dawn got him 8 points as it had a 78 score.
I need to get around to playing that. I really do.
Yeah, I think we talked about this maybe last month or 2 months ago. Silk Song was the thing for Cody and I. Because I had counterpicked it, if it came out, Cody was going to win. If it didn't, I was going to win. It's over. It's so over. It is Jover, in fact.
Yeah,
I think Cody, we had been pretty neck and neck the whole time, and I think now, Cody, you're projected to win by like 40 points. So nothing really I can do to make up.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, unless, perhaps Arc Raiders, Mina the Hollower, Pokemon, perhaps some of Kyle's games do really well. He's only like 20, 25 points behind you.
No, he is.
You're projected you're projected 152. Kyle's projected 125 right now.
Oh shit! I was looking at the wrong category. Oh no!
Kyle's a good game away from.
I mean,
don't do this.
So October we have Ghost of Yotei. That's on Cody's. Pokemon.
We already talked about. That's already out.
Well, yeah. So sorry. Pokemon is on mine. Shay, you have Keeper. I counterpicked Keeper, I think. Cody has Outer Worlds 2. I have Arc Raiders. Shay, you have Dragon Quest. I have Mina the Hollower.
Dragon Quest will be safe. That'll be an easy 80 plus. Keeper, I'm a little nervous about. I don't think it's going to be bad, but it might end up in the 70s, and so it's not going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
I feel like Mina the Hollower is definitely going to be good. Arc Raiders is definitely going to be good. So yeah, it's, we'll see.
Kyle, you really need your unannounced games to come out.
Fucking tell me about it, man.
Building relationships.
Yeah.
You really need those to come out.
Like I check like a couple times a week on those games, and they still say 2025.
This thing has building relationships as not releasing this year. They have the little calendar icon that it's not releasing.
They haven't announced that it's not. On Steam, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Judas
ain't happening.
Mixtape still doesn't have a fucking release date, which is crazy.
Right.
Building relationship shows Q1 2026 for me.
On Steam?
On Steam.
Did they just update it like today? Because
October 1st.
I looked at this shit yesterday. Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
Because, what were the counter picks? Yeah, Keeper is your last counter pick, and I have Outer Worlds 2, which is obviously coming out, and that should get solid scores, so I'm going to lose some more points from that. Dude, if I fucking lose after all this...
Oh, man, look at how many calendared games I have. So, Venom didn't get announced. GTA 6 got moved. Building Relationships got moved. Directive 8020 got moved. I still don't know about Mouse Judas is not going to fucking come out this year, so that's gone. If I still beat you, Shay,
it's the counter picks.
I beat you so fucking hard. All right?
Whoa. It's the counter picks.
So
I lost 23 points on Silksong.
Yeah. You fucked up.
That is crazy because
I lost 20 points on Death Stranding too.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see on Skate Story, but if that comes out, I only had one game not come out. Which I guess is the same as Cody.
I just did a better job picking my games.
That is crazy. How did that happen? Yeah, you had a lot of the top. You had Donkey Kong and Claire Obscure. That's 47 points just by itself.
Yeah.
Crazy time, man.
It is.
All right.
Video game.
Let's move on so we can wrap this up shy of 4 hours. We were doing so well.
Yeah.
We were doing so well. We had so many games, guys.
I know.
We want to chat quickly about a really good comment we got on one of the YouTube videos from Tesla Doyle. I watched most of the cutscenes of Mafia. I love when a game subverts expectations and gives you a not so happy ending. And it made us think of like other games that kind of do that. And I think The Last of Us is the one that comes to mind as being a very nebulous gray area ending.
Last of Us 2 as well, for sure.
Well, yeah.
With like the stuff with Ellie and all that.
I
like, this is not a not so happy ending, but the ending of Rage I always think about as like the most anticlimactic. Like there's no boss fight, you just ride an
is no
apropos
ending.
of nothing.
Yeah.
You just ride an elevator and then the game ends. Crazy shit. I think about Rage because of that ending, quote unquote, such as it is, a lot. Any other ones that you guys think of?
Oh shoot, I had one that I now lost because as we're recording, it's midnight and the new Taylor Swift album just dropped, and so Kelly was texting me to not bother her for the rest of the night. She's staying up like all night. I'm taking our daughter to school tomorrow so that she can stay up late and listen to it.
I'll say Dead Take that I talked about earlier. It has a not happy ending. Surprise, surprise, a horror game with a not happy ending. I think Eclipsium kind of does have a happy ending. I think there's like a resolution in Eclipsium that's nice.
I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah, you're
Bittersweet at minimum. Yeah. A game that I did
BioShock
not.
Infinite.
Oh, Infinite. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
A game that I did not enjoy, but that had a very surprising, weird, sad ending. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. That was a pretty dour ending in that game also.
Yeah.
I also like games that sort of like, not that it's an unhappy ending, but it's there's some kind of stinger or thing that happens that sort of subverts expectations and like not sequel bait, but like recontextualizes it. Because I think of the original Dead Space.
Oh yeah,
with the final scene with the wife.
Yeah.
Well,
not
I was
the
gonna
wife.
say. I was gonna say like
the Ellie,
girlfriend or whatever. Yeah. No. At the end of the first one, isn't that his wife, the blonde, the other scientist?
But she's. You mean the necromorph version of her in the ship with? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, also like the ending of Dead Space 3. That's perhaps one of the most dour of endings.
I don't even remember how that game ends. I remember fighting the giant moon fish thing, but I don't remember the story ending of that game at all.
I want to say there's no more life in the universe at the ending of Dead Space 3. Because,
what?
Well, because I think they were this is rumor mill stuff, but they were so mad at EA about making them pump it full of microtransactions, they didn't want to make another one. So they literally made it so that like basically the universe is dead and there could not be another Dead Space game.
That game sucks, man.
That game fucking sucks.
Fun co-op bro-op though.
Yes.
Head to Kyle's old YouTube channel if you can find it.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah,
fun
good.
comment. Drop a comment with a question. Send us an email, partyselectpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll chat about it on the next episode. Let's talk about October game releases. There are a lot. On the 2nd, which has already happened, Ghost of Yotei is out. It's good. I will be playing it late. No, I can't play it late tonight. I have to get up at 6 a.m. to take my daughter to school. Damn it. I want to play it tonight.
Damn it, T-Swift.
Oh, well. Yeah. Hey, my wife deserves it. She's
also
excited.
on the 2nd, we talked about it, Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2 came out on Switch.
On the 9th is Fellowship. This is like it's like you took the dungeons aspect of World of Warcraft out and just made that its own game.
Right.
It's a party-based dungeon crawler WoW style game.
That's right. Also on the 9th is Yooka-Laylee. This is the re-release of Yooka-Laylee.
And then on the 10th, is Battlefield 6. I'm realizing we didn't talk about the beta ever, did we?
Oh, no.
Cody, did you play the beta?
I didn't play it.
Oh, okay. I played the beta for a few hours. We don't need to get into it. I'm not getting Battlefield 6 to play the multiplayer. It seems very competent and fun. I don't have room in my life for games where other human beings ruin my fun.
I think that's fair.
By killing me. But it seems good. It seems like
Which
a
is
good
why
one.
We're gonna be playing Arc Raiders.
But yeah, it seems like a good one. I'm excited for the people that are excited. I wish that I was excited and was going to play it.
I'm getting it so that I can play the campaign, which is apparently very bad. So I'll be reporting on that.
Yes, dude. I would. Okay, it's your life.
Yep.
You know, it is your life.
Dude, it's a first-person shooter campaign. I have to play it.
Hopefully this is the last EA game you go out on.
I know, right? Yeah, we didn't even talk about that fucking mess. Also on the 10th, Little Nightmares 3. I think 2 was co-op. I think 3 is also going to be co-op. Then on the 15th is Ball X Pit, the roguelike pinball block breaker like game that has meta progression. That game looks
really cool.
Yeah, that's a Devolver one.
On the 16th is Pokemon Legends ZA.
Woohoo. On the 17th is Keeper, the new what is it?
Double Fine.
Thank you, Double Fine game that I hope is good for the sake of my fantasy critic team. And then on the 20th is Ninja Gaiden 4, which the recent Game Informer had a cover story on. I'm not playing it, but it sounds fun.
Sure.
I'm happy for the people that have been pining after a new Ninja Gaiden for what I think it's been 10 years. I think it came out in 2014, 2015, Ninja Gaiden 3.
Damn.
So yeah, I hope it's a good one. And then also on the 20th is Jurassic World Evolution 3. I have yet to play one of these games, but they are very interesting to me.
Are these the park builders?
This is the park builder,
okay.
Which is a maybe category for me, but it's got the right hook. And I think the second one is like on Game Pass or on PlayStation Plus or something. Oh. So I want to get around to that because the third one looks, I'm sure it's more of that, but should be fun.
Yeah. On the 21st is another Game Informer cover story, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which is now being made and released by the Chinese Room, who has made a couple of games that I really liked. No games with as much video game in it as this one. But the Game Informer coverage on it had me pretty interested, even though I'm not into vampires. It sounds like a pretty good time, so I am watching reviews and going to kind of temperature check when it comes out, and maybe I'll end up picking that up.
On the 22nd is Dispatch, which is the new game by the former Telltale folk about a superhero dispatch unit.
Aaron Paul is the main character. They've got a lot of good people in it. Again, the Game Informer had a story about this. I'm all in. I'm super excited. What I'm seeing from it. I thought it was going to have more gameplay than it seems like it will. It seems like it's more narrative focused than it is gameplay focused, which A-okay with me from those people.
Yep.
On the 24th is the new Once Upon a Katamari game coming out. A brand new Katamari game that goes through different periods in history. So you can be rolling up samurai and spacemen. Can't wait. It's going to be a really fun time. Also on the 24th is The Outer Worlds 2. I also have pretty high hopes for this one. I think hopefully they learned. It seems like from the preview coverage, they took some of the fluidity and the aggressiveness of the combat from Avowed that we all really liked, and seem to have applied some of that ethos to the combat in Outer Worlds, which the first one felt a little stiff. It seems like they've introduced some stuff to amp that up, similar to Avowed. So looking forward to that.
I am seeing very little marketing for this game.
Yeah.
Which concerns me a little bit.
That's fair.
But I loved the first one more than most, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
On the 30th, then, is the aforementioned Arc Raiders.
And also on the 30th is Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D. Also on the 30th, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which I believe includes what is it, that third person shooter made God, what is it, the Mortal Kombat third person shooter on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, I know what game you're talking about.
Blacklist or something. Special Forces?
Special Forces, thank you. Yes, I think Special Forces is on there. I know Mythologies is on there.
I'd pick that up if it had Shaolin monks. And we'd play some fucking Shaolin
We would play
monks.
some fucking Shaolin monks, bro.
That's a shame.
Straight up.
It's a damn shame.
Damn shame.
And then wrapping up the month on Halloween, the 31st is Mina the Hollower.
Yeah. Good month.
I'll be looking at reviews for Mina the Hollower. I'm like super interested, but it's not a must buy. But I would love to play it. I did. I like Shovel Knight.
Okay.
I'm more interested in this, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like the retro like
Game
action
Boy
platformer isn't as much of my thing. This is more the kind of game that I would like to revisit.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a huge month. We talked a lot about what we might want to check out, and I feel like there are lots of games that we have like tangential interest in. And I feel like we ended up going with the most ironic choice that none of us really want to do. But for the sake of the podcast and, for the content is the right choice for us. So in the month of October, we are all going to be playing Pokemon Legends Z to A. Because I have a Switch 2 now.
Kyle and I have a pact.
Yeah.
We are going to genuinely, earnestly try to like this game.
I'm in the pact also. Also.
I want so bad to be excited about Pokemon again. So I'm locked in.
I'm not playing this one with my kids because I want to be able to have my own experience with it and not have it be about what they want to do and all that, at least to start. Like, I'm going to play it by myself. If I hate it, I'll probably show it to them because then they'll get more enjoyment out of it. But
sure.
I don't know that much about this game, to be honest with you, like the structure and stuff, because it didn't look appealing to me. And then I got a Switch 2 and was like, I feel like I need to play all the Nintendo stuff now. And you guys said you were already planning on getting it. So I said, fuck it, let's go.
You know the stuff about the combat system, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Active combat, real time, with abilities.
It's like
on
Arceus,
cooldowns.
right? Or Arceus, whatever one it was.
I don't remember.
Which I did not play, but it's similar to that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember that.
It does not look appealing to me, but I'm going to have an open mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to give it a damn good shot.
Hell yeah. We'll be talking about that on the next flagship, which will go up the first Monday of November. Look forward to that. Or don't look forward to it, depending on how we feel / how you feel, gamers, about that game. Let's talk about really quickly what we're doing in October. Like I said, you will get the next episode of the flagship, first Monday of November. But we are also going to be doing our normal scheduled podcast on the best games of 2004 for our podcast listeners. That will show up in your audio only feed. Or if you want to watch the video, go to the YouTube channel and do that. Either way is totally fine. Only on YouTube, we will be doing a part 2 live stream of the worst games of 2003, which I meant to look back at what we were going to be playing.
It's Charlie's Angels on the GameCube. It is Drake of the 99 Dragons on the original Xbox. And it is MTV Celebrity Deathmatch on the PlayStation 1.
Hell yeah. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I feel like, we had a good time.
We did.
On the other 2000. It was a lot of fun.
It was nice to have Cody
These games are bad. Yeah.
I will have to play these 3, unfortunately.
You have to play these. Yep. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's okay.
And then Halloween's in October. So we talked about, do we want to do like a little Halloween stream? So we might do that. I don't know if it'll actually be on Halloween because I don't know when trick-or-treating is for my children, and they unfortunately take priority over Party Select. But we'll be doing something around Halloween, a stream, some kind of horror games, maybe new, maybe old, maybe bad, maybe good. We don't know. Hit the bell. Subscribe and hit the bell. Then you'll know. You'll get notified if we're going to go live.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for the podcast. We are wrapping up. Cody is impatient because he wants to eat. It's 12:15 in the morning. I don't know why. I don't know why you're getting food now. But, everybody's got their life to live.
This is what it's like to not have kids. You can just do stuff whenever.
You know what?
Right.
You're not wrong.
That's right.
I have to go get something to eat from my kitchen, and I am not allowed to make any noise because my wife is listening to Taylor Swift in the living room, and she will be mad at me if I interrupt her. So I have to sneak into my own home, which is fine. I hope it's good. I hope she loves it, because if she doesn't, she's going to be miserable.
Podcast title should be T Swift's Little Insertions. You know, for that good SEO.
Yeah, the algorithm. That would have been a Shay Hates Everything podcast title.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We got to hit that YouTube algo now. We care about that shit.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching /listening. Join our party, follow the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, leave us a comment, write an email, partyselectpod@gmail.com. Do all the things, and most importantly, tell your friends, because we're your friends. So tell your other friends, and then they can be friends with us also. Stop being so protective over our friendship.
Yeah.
There's plenty of love. All of our small insertions can be inserted in multiple partners at once. I lost the double entendre of that.
You could have our insertions in you.
And your friends at the same time. Let's insert. Eat. All right. Okay. All right. Peace out, everybody.